I'm Chirasree Banerjee. I'm from India. I'm based out in Kolkata. So I am the founder of the company Quantum Dynamic 8. Quantum Dynamic 8 is an e-school. We have a lot of courses and a lot of one-on-one services. So Quantum Dynamic 8 has graduated a lot of students. Right now, we've by now we've sold 400 courses. That was like the recent success that we had. So we have 400 students who have chosen to go for quantum dynamic 8 courses as of now. So apart from that, we also have workshops from time to time, events from time to time, and then currently, I am doing one-on-one manifestation and spell casting coaching. So basically, I teach you all the skills so that you can apply in your respective situations. So that's more of coaching and teaching together. So there's a lot of experiments that we keep on doing in Quantum Dynamic 8 because I just do not like to stick to something when it comes to experimenting with my services because I'm a person who keeps on learning stuff. So since I'm a person who keeps on learning stuff, so I keep on expanding my services and everything that I learn after inculcating the knowledge, if I'm pulled, I either share it as a course or I implement it in other services. So I've done a couple of modalities, but the modality I follow would be quantum integration therapy. So I call myself a quantum integration therapist specialized in VAC intelligence expansion. So VAC intelligence is your visual, auditory, and kinesthetic intelligence. And that is what today's workshop is based on, because to manifest the impossible, we will be going to literally molecular level to get you the impossible. So you can have any definition of impossible. Anything for you can be impossible, and something else for me might be impossible. So what to you is impossible necessarily doesn't have to be the impossible for me. Similarly, what is impossible to another person does not have to be impossible for another person. So the idea of impossibility, the idea of what's possible, what's impossible, is something that completely varies person to person. So having to be aware of that this idea varies person to person. So I would like to know, what's your idea of impossibility? So who would like to go first? Whoever would like to, you can just unmute yourself.
Is it plucking the stars from the cloud?
Wow, may I know
It's
your
impossible.
name?
Prasad.
Wow.
PRSAD, Prasad. Hi, good evening. This is Prasad
Hi.
from Mumbai.
Hello. Thank you for joining this workshop. Wow, that's a beautiful answer. Like, wow.
Thank you.
Thank you. So, wow, that's amazing. Yes, definitely. But then people are going to the moon, people are going to planets, people are looking for houses in other planets. And we literally made up of stardust, and we are the universe having a human experience. So aren't we the stars? Aren't we possible to achieve? And can't we just be here and consider that we are the stars? So is it impossible to be a star yourself, because you are made up of stars, you are made up of stardust, because you are a spiritual being having a human experience. So everything that a star is made up of, you're made up of the same. So hello, I'm getting a lot of raised hands. So anybody who would like to talk, you can just unmute yourself and start talking. So who would like to share?
I would.
Yes,
Rubina here.
Oh, hello, Ma. How are you?
I am fine, thank you. And it's a pleasure to be here. For me, what is impossible to manifest, according to me, is getting a person to do something which they don't want to do. They are adamant about not doing. For me, in my mind, that cannot be manifested. And I'm here today to hear that I am wrong, especially if it is for the higher good uh, of of a person. Then it should be possible, but it isn't possible. And I do understand that what I would believe is the highest good for a person, they themselves may not feel the same. So how do you make that happen? It's close to impossible to manifest it, is my human mind telling me, and I want to be proved wrong.
All right.
Thank
That's
you.
another amazing question that we have. So definitely I'll be talking about the concept everyone is you pushed out. So that definitely I'm going to be into like talking about that concept, and that's one of the most pivotal concepts of spirituality when it comes to manifestation, that everybody is you pushed out, everybody is an aspect within. So if everybody is an aspect within, then anybody else, whatever version they're playing out on the outside, somewhere deep down, it's resonating with us inside. So there is a part of us which believes in their ways and are understanding why are they doing this. And as we process in that process of understanding that person, in that process of understanding, we finally reach a point where we can change our understanding and flow in that course and change that. And I have seen in a lot of cases in my career, in my journey with my clients, where I have changed. Some of them are present here. And I have done this miracle with their relationships. So in our journey, we've seen it is possible. So thank you, Rubinama. It's like one of the most amazing and the most important questions that this community has of manifestation. So who would like to go next and share your idea of impossibility? So
Hi,
what are you doing?
Chirasree.
Yes. Hello.
Sarvipriya here.
Hi. Hello.
Yeah, so we have been working for
Yes.
quite a long time.
Yes.
I feel more than a year, but it's been a year. So still I know that there are problems with me and earning money.
Hmm.
So I'm not able to do that, even though I know uh, I can do whatever I want. And I know I can really manifest it. Just that, I don't know what is with that thing, that is not coming. I can clear exams, I can do this, I can start that, I can take care of home single-handedly, I can do manage lot of things, but why not that? Why isn't that happening?
All right. So definitely we'll talk about that also. So your idea of impossibility is to attract money. That's
Seems
amazing.
like it. Yeah.
Okay. So a lot of times we tend to think that that's one of the greatest, funniest blocks that a lot of us have. That is, it's going to happen for everybody, but it's not going to happen for me. So because
Yeah.
it's working out for all, but then definitely we're going to talk about that. And as far as career is concerned, definitely we need to take actions.
Yeah, I'm taking actions, I can assure
True.
you.
Yeah, right. Okay. Keep taking actions. That's something necessary. If it's your business that you were going, proceeding with, especially it's a coaching business,
Yeah.
then you really need to be up there and come up with your videos, views and stuff, and interact,
Yeah.
like build relationship with your audience first.
Yeah.
And then the magic will happen. I can assure that.
I take your assurance 100%.
Thank you. So who would next like to share their idea of impossibility? What is impossible in your reality? Hello, everyone. So I'm going to check the chat.
Could I,
So,
could I
hi.
come in?
Yes,
Ravindra.
absolutely. Hi.
Hi, hi.
Hi.
Yeah. is not the idea of impossibility, but uh, something which has been difficult for me and very difficult to achieve. And now, at this juncture of life, I feel that it is slightly more difficult because of so many reasons. But okay, I as a HR IR professional, I have some market value. You hear me?
Hello.
Yeah.
Yes,
Are you able-
I can hear you. Yeah,
Yeah.
hello. Yeah. Yes.
Yeah, you're able to hear me? Yeah.
Yes. Yes,
Uh,
I can hear you.
as a HR professional, I have some market value, and what I generally keep feeling is that there are so many other professionals who are getting um, higher distance, much higher, uh, like 4 times, 5 times than what I am getting in their career, while I am not able to make it. And okay, I mean, I have also been like into this manifestation or meditation, self hypnosis, astrology kind of stuff for many years now. Uh, and I would say there have been a lot of achievements also, but this is something which I have not been able to achieve. That is attaining my market value into my professional field.
Yeah. So others are getting it, but it's not happening for me. Do you
Yeah.
relate to that?
Yes. Yes. Yes.
That is definitely something we'll be working on. That's something I work on in every session, literally. And we all have this somewhere deep down, definitely. But we are going to change all the limits. So we are going to definitely transmute all the limits today. So tell me,
Yeah.
who would like to share their idea of impossibility next? What is impossible according to you? Who would like to go next?
May I?
Absolutely. Anybody can. You just have to start talking after the next person.
So it is I am possible.
Oh, wow. Wow. Here we have somebody who just believes in it. Hello.
Hello.
Yes. Yes. So please do share. May I know your name?
My name is Meenal.
Okay. So, yes. What is impossible to you?
It is like you have to keep on trying instead of saying it is impossible.
Absolutely. Yes.
And being, if you be positive, then we can say I am possible. I am not impossible. Nothing is impossible. You can do. And there is a solution to each and every problem.
Absolutely. Like, wow. I'm so very glad to have you in house. So you do manifestation a lot. I can get it.
Yeah, I'm trying to.
Wow. Wow. Definitely we have somebody in house who is already in that dimension where everything is happening, everything is possible. So what else is impossible in your dimension? Who would like to go next about what is impossible? Who would like to next share about their idea of impossibility? Okay, from Ramani, we have to lose weight. Okay, wow, interesting. So I am really excited to know your idea
Can
of
I?
impossibility. Absolutely. Please
Yeah,
feel
hi.
free to talk. Yeah, hi.
I'm just sharing my experience
Yes.
because I have done manifestation and like 50% I have achieved also, but 50% I did not achieve. So I believe that sometime it happens. Either you take in relationship or either you take it as a job, because I'm a working professional. So before pandemic, I was working as an administration manager in real estate company, and where I have really worked very hard, and I used to feel it's my actually it is my very best friend's brother's company. So I was taking it as like my second house, and I have really worked very hard. And I never thought that due to pandemic they will tell me to leave. Okay, where in that company I have really very worked hard, and I used to save my company's penny. I used to take care of everything. So I lost that job. But as I am a tarot reader, so in the month of last February 2020, my card was telling me that your life is going to change. Your life is going to change. And I believe that जो होना है वो तो होता ही है. But sometimes in even in relationship हम सिर्फ देते 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 हैं, लेकिन कितना भी करो, लेकिन सामने वाला अगर वैल्यू आपको नहीं करेगा तो नहीं करेगा. और मैनिफेस्टेशन में भी मैंने देखा है कि कुछ चीजें मेरी लाइफ में ऐसी हुई हैं जो मैंने मैनिफेस्ट किया वही मिला, लेकिन 50% आई कुड नॉट अचीव इट. सो आई बिलीव कि बिकॉज आई एम लर्निंग एस्ट्रोलॉजी ऑल्सो, सो आई बिलीव कि जो होना है वो तो होता ही है. बट मैं अभी तक मैनिफेस्टेशन का ये समझ नहीं पाई, बिकॉज 50% हाँ मैंने अचीव किया, 50% नहीं अचीव किया. बट माई एक्सपीरियंस ऑल्सो सेज कि कुछ चीजें ऐसी होती है जो आपके हाथ से निकलनी होती है तो निकल जाती है, उसको यू कैन नॉट अचीव इट. लाइक सम रिलेशनशिप मैंने मेरी जिंदगी में हमेशा सिर्फ दिया 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 ही है, चाहे वो पेरेंट्स हो, चाहे वो मेरी सिस्टर्स हो, चाहे वो मेरे रिलेशनशिप हो. बट आई थिंक कि मुझे उतना नहीं मिला जितना मिलना चाहिए. सो आई बिलीव कि कुछ चीजें ऐसी होती है जो हमारे हाथ में नहीं होती है. अगर आप देते हो तो सामने वाले की भी हैबिट हो जाती है कि इसका ये तो देती ही है, इसे तो ये करना ही चाहिए, इसे तो ये रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटी निभानी चाहिए. सेम थिंग आई फेल्ट इन माय जॉब ऑल्सो. मैं बहुत कर रही थी तो मेरे सीनियर्स, मेरे चेयरमैन, मेरे एमडी ये सोचते थे ये इसका फर्ज है करना, दिस इज हर रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटी. तो आई बिलीव कि कहीं कहीं शायद हम भी गलती करते हैं कि कहीं कहीं हमें पता होना चाहिए कि कहाँ स्टॉप होना है, और उसके बाद आप कितना भी ट्राई करो लेकिन यू कैन नॉट अचीव इट. लाइक रिलेशनशिप में उनको आदत हो जाती है कि नहीं इसका काम है देना, तो शी हैज टू डू her responsibility. So I believe manifestation is there, but 50% I have achieved. So I don't know, you have to tell us like what it is. But I believe कि कुछ चीजें ऐसी होती है जो हमारे हाथ से निकलती है तो निकल जाती है, but कुछ चीज yes we can manifest, we can achieve it.
May I have a name, please?
Anjali. Anjali
Yeah.
Sharma.
So that's lovely, Anjali. And I'm very happy to meet you. Very happy to
Thank you
meet
so
you
much.
all.
Same here. Same
Thank you.
here.
Thank you. So I'm very excited. So yeah, I already have some messages. We have 68 people in house. I'm like, oh my God. Thank you, God. Thank you. This is itself a manifestation. So I believe what is impossible is ability to change the past karmas. Okay, that's from Gauri. So wow, that's interesting. So I would like to know who else would like to share their view on what is impossible.
May I please?
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely.
Thank you. One simple thing I would like to say is that what is impossible for manifestation is whatever has gone in the past. Like for example, when I was in the matriculation, that is 10th grade, can I change the marks of that? I got a distinction 75%. But if I now think that, oh, I want to manifest 80% and just go, universe, please make it happen. Just go in the past, change my marks from 75 to 80. That is impossible now, right?
Okay. Yes. Yes.
So that is what the example for the impossible manifestation is all about. In a very simple thing, because like I was just scratching my head all the time. People talk about manifestation, and that too in the future or in the present maybe. I want this, I want that. Okay, not want. I'm in a process of getting that. If you say I want this, that means you're lacking somewhere, right? But I'm in a process of getting that, and I'm having that feeling of what you can say, a satisfaction that I am already, as if I'm already having it, and then I'm in the process of getting more of that kind of thing. So that is a manifestation. But this topic is really like a brain teaser. Impossible. What is something which is impossible,
Yes.
which cannot manifest? In this case,
I
as per me, as per my understanding, okay, you may throw lights later on also, like in the when the session will progress further. But as per my understanding is that whatever has happened, and if I'm like trying to manifest which has already happened, and it was not as per my way, or it was not in my favor, then that is impossible. And if I'm not now trying to manifest that, oh no, I want my marks to be 80%, go change it. So that is impossible now. So
do
that's
you,
all from Prasad
do
here.
you want to
Thank you.
experiment something magical? And really, like, do you want to experience something magical right now? So, how does your there is the thing is that whenever we want to change something in the past, there is a particular feeling attached to that experiment or experience, whatever, like whatever you have had in the past which failed, and you consider that to be, you're not very happy about it, you're basically upset about it. So, whatever hurt you have inculcated from that experience, if you go within and work on that feeling, sit with that feeling and retrospect that feeling and understand and analyze that, basically do a paralysis and analysis of that feeling, where you have a lot of pain stored from that experience. Upon analyzing those layers, that's what quantum integration is. And that's how we actually change past karmas too. And that's also what we're going to talk about today. And by integrating those emotions and changing those feelings and literally sitting with those layers of emotions, you can actually transcend, liberate, and go to a state of consciousness and feeling about it, that when you think about it again, there will be a different feeling attached to it, and you'll have a lot more understanding of why that happened and how it was good for you, and how you can have an alternative for it, and what else can you do or be to transmute that altogether. So, what's your take on that?
Yeah, you are right. I mean, your perception was like a mind blowing. I could wonder, like, such kind of perceptions can also be there. Happy to hear about that. Only, but what comes into my mind is, I do, with due respect to your perception, I liked it also. Like whether we can have the feelings changed or something transformed or something like that. But like first of all, like we have to accept it, what has been happened. And the very best thing is that practice of forgiveness, forget and forgive also. What I mean,
Yes,
mark my words very carefully. Like forget and forgive. People forgive,
yes,
but they don't forget, and that creates a lot of problem inside also, inside their inside inner being. So forget and forgive. What do I mean by forget is that don't allow your thoughts to trigger that particular memory in which some bad things are stored. Okay, so you neutralize those emotions, and how you can neutralize those emotions? By surrendering to the universe, by surrendering to the highest divine. Okay, then that
absolutely, yes,
memory won't trouble you. So the first thing, according to me,
absolutely.
as per my understanding, is that whenever something is happened which is against you, or which was not in favor of you, which was unpleasant, like first you accept that, you acknowledge that for yourself, you forgive, you forget and forgive it,
Okay,
and
yes,
leave it rest to the universe,
yes,
and then the other things will get manifested. So and
absolutely.
then comes your perception also, because that perception was totally out of my mind. But I have learned something new from here. Thank you very much for this,
Thank you.
for sharing, and I express my deepest gratitude. I think you are Charlie, right?
I'm Chirasree.
Chirashree. Oh, sorry,
Yes,
Chirashree.
yes.
Thank you, Chirashree, for this wonderful perception. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank
Please carry on. Please carry on. Yeah.
Thank you. So yes, definitely you need to let go, accept, and forgive and forget. A lot of times, what happens, especially when you are manifesting a particular lover, that we cannot accept the breakup. So it's very necessary to accept it. Otherwise, you're living in denial, and then you start to numb out and you cannot manifest. So you have to accept, you have to let go, you have to surrender, and then the magic begins. And after you surrender, after you let go, after you started to live in the end, quantum integration comes after that. So who else would like to share their view on what's impossible to you?
Hi. Hi.
Yes, hello. Hi.
Hi. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Yeah,
So,
we actually want to ask about manifestation. Actually, many people say or many masters say that you can manifest this and that. But when it comes to reality now, when you see that what is happening in the front of you, okay, you manifest for the some time, it feels very good. But after some time, when you again step into the reality, it is very hard to manifest all the time. And it is hard for me actually, because what I am seeing in the front, in the reality of my life, that is happening something or another, and I am manifesting the totally opposite. So that is being hard for me.
that's
So how can I
interesting.
manifest it?
So, manifestation is hard. So,
No,
that's the
actually,
perspective.
for some time you will feel like wander in the clouds. But it's very hard to manifest it again and again.
Okay, definitely.
Yeah.
May I know who I'm talking to?
Asutosh, you are talking to Asutosh.
Okay, so what all have you tried manifestation in? Career, life, relationship?
Relationship. I will manifest. Actually, I am working professional.
Okay.
Actually, I am a working professional. I think two things. That where we get a chance to do something and prove ourselves, then we can easily do it for myself. But even in some sector, I am not getting even a chance. Then how can I prove myself, and how can make that is impossible to possible?
Interesting. That's another amazing perspective. So definitely, I'm going to share everything about all the perspectives that I'm coming across so that we can transcend all the blocks and we can have all the things that we all want to manifest. So thank you for sharing perspectives. So who else would like to share that what is impossible to you?
Hi, Chira. This is Pratap.
Hello. Hi.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm really excited about knowing the manifestation and removing the blocks. But how things happen, that is a question. Like, you don't know where you are heading and you don't know what you are going to gain. But when you have something in mind to achieve, how the path will establish.
Oh, that's amazing. But wow, perfect timing, perfect message. So, who else would like to share their perspective on what is impossible?
Hi, Chirasree. Monica this
Hello.
way.
Hi.
Chirasree, for me, impossible is like being positive all the time while manifesting. Because when it's a long time after you've manifested something or you've asked universe to give you such things, so after that time, like a long period of time, you feel negative about it. Like sometimes negative thoughts come into your mind automatically, and as hard as you can try, you cannot go through all those pains and everything, and you cannot get rid of that negative thought. So what should we do at that moment to get that positivity and that motivation again?
What is that negativity is helping you to manifest it? Because you're
See,
purging out
that
with the
is not
universe.
helping me any which ways, but the thing is, like after that whole lot of time, the negative thoughts come into our mind like automatically. You don't have any control on that.
Yes, I'm
Like,
saying what
yes, it
if
is taking
it's
a
good
lot of
for you?
time. It is taking a lot of time, and maybe it will not get manifested, something like that. And if it's not that thing, some people will trigger your emotions at that moment. So that negativity, that is not related to the manifestations you've made, but the negativity that is around you, that will affect your mind. I'm talking about that thing.
Yes. So I'm saying what if that is a part of the manifestation and
Okay,
what if
what if
it's good for
technique you are
you?
talking about, right?
Yeah, I'm saying, what if the negativity is good for you? And what if the negativities, each layer of negativity that are coming up? So I'll give you an example. So suppose you want to manifest a bungalow,
Okay.
and you're like, oh my God, I don't have the money. It's so, I don't have the money. It's the first block. So then
Mhm.
you'll be like, how will I make it? Second block. Then it'll happen. Third block. It'll happen or not. Fourth block. All these blocks that you're talking about, those are clearing resistances in you, where you are opening up yourself and opening up perspectives in you to see beyond. So all blocks are good because the blocks remove and manifestation flow in. So resistances and triggers are actually helping us to get what we want. Actually.
Okay, and one more thing, Chirasree, I have a doubt, actually a doubt, a very minute one, maybe you'll laugh on it. Like whenever we say like you have to let go while manifesting, but whenever you make affirmations, you are reminded of your manifestations, right? You
Yes.
make affirmations about your manifestation only. So you are reminded of that. So how that thing is happening, like how you let go of those things, like whenever you are reaffirming your affirmations, that means you are again remembering your manifestation. That's why you have to let go. So how will you do that? That let go part is not clear in my mind somewhere. So maybe because of that, I'm facing problem in the manifestation.
Another amazing question. So there's like, today we have like questions on earth, and I'm very excited. This workshop might just go on forever, literally today, because this is my like favoriteest most topic, and I love to talk about manifestation, and I can go on talking about manifestation. So who else would like to share their limited point of view about manifestation? What do you think is impossible? So for all of those who are watching on YouTube, I mean, will be watching on YouTube, also comment down what is your idea of impossibility. So anyone else here would like to share? Yes. Hi. Hello. So who would like to share their idea of, okay. Hi, Halka.
Hi.
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 So
Yeah.
she's here who can share with you all a success story of impossibility.
Um. Yeah. I can say like अभी just मैंने मैम से spell लिया था and my husband he is not like talking, he's not talking to my daughter. I was facing so many problems and मैम ने मुझे एक spell दिया and you know suddenly within a like 1 or 2 days he start working और मुझे भी मतलब believe नहीं हो रहा था ये हो क्या रहा है, what's happening, क्योंकि मेरा relation बहुत दिन से I was like really very upset or some personal things are going on. I'm like edge like broken up like सब टूटने ही वाला है ऐसा मुझे लग रहा था. But now because of ma'am my things are you know getting sorted up and I can see that something good will happen. Definitely it will happen and I'm positive for that. And really thank you so much Shri ma'am. You helped me a lot.
Thank you. Thank you. So yes,
Thanks a lot. Yeah.
thank you. So for all of those who are wondering, because I know most of my students or clients who are here are all looking for fixing relationships. So yeah, so this is for definitely for all of you who are wondering that is it possible to get back a relationship that's broken? So yeah, if you have loved that person and that person has loved you in the past, and if you still love that person, so means that person also loves you somewhere deep down, that's for sure. So who else here would like to share their idea of impossibility? Hello. Who else would like to share? Who else is here who has, okay, Rahi is here who has experienced miracle. Hi, Rahi. Hello. I think she is on mute. It's like a lot of people here. So who else would like to? Yeah, hi.
Hi.
So what was your experience of impossibility?
इम्पॉसिबल कुछ नहीं है, मुझे पहले लगता था कि बहुत कुछ चीजें इम्पॉसिबल है, बट अभी इम्पॉसिबल कुछ नहीं लगता, क्योंकि मैंने आपसे जो सीखा है, जो क्लासेस लिए है 1 सालों में, मुझे यही लगता है कि इम्पॉसिबल कुछ नहीं है। हम कुछ भी चाहे तो छोटी चीज मैनिफेस्ट कर सकते हैं। हाँ, अगर पास्ट की बात बोला जाए, जैसे कि किसी ने पूछा था पहले कि पास्ट में हम चेंज नहीं कर सकते, तो वो सारी चीज हो चुकी है, अब कैसे चेंज कर सकते हैं? अभी मैं प्रेजेंट पे रहूं या फ्यूचर में, वो हम चेंज जरूर कर सकते हैं। पास्ट को भूल सकते हैं, फॉरगिव कर सकते हैं, ये भी मैं मानती हूँ। एंड थैंक यू। और मेरे साथ जो चेंजेस आए हैं, लॉट्स ऑफ चेंजेस आए हैं, मेरे फैमिली में चेंजेस आए हैं। जैसे कि मेरे पापा मुझे बाहर नहीं जाने देंगे पढ़ाई करने, तो वो मुझे कल ही बोल रहे थे, आफ्टर क्लास, हम लोगों का जो बूट कैंप का क्लास हो रहा था, उसके बाद ही आफ्टर क्लास खत्म ही हुए हैं, उसके 2 दिन बाद ही ये मुझे आया कि पापा ने बताया मुझे कि आप बाहर जा सकते हो, जॉब करने बाहर जा सकते हो। तो ये मेरे लिए इम्पॉसिबल चीज था, जो पापा ने बोला है वो बहुत इम्पॉसिबल चीज था। रिलेशनशिप में भी बहुत चेंजेस आए हैं, जिसने मुझे ब्रेकअप हो गया था जिसके साथ 1 साल में, उसके साथ अभी मैं गुड रिलेशनशिप में हूँ, कमिटमेंट मिल गया है। ये सारी चीजें बहुत इफेक्ट करती है। मैनिफेस्ट हम करते हैं तो कुछ चीजें अगर दिल से चाहते हैं, तो अगर एक फिल्म का एक डायलॉग था ना, अगर कुछ चीजों को दिल से चाहते हैं, तो सच में दिल से चाहते हैं तो मैनिफेस्ट होता है। मैं यही बोलूंगी, मैनिफेस्ट होता है। मेरे पास ये इम्पॉसिबल थिंग था कि पापा कभी मानेंगे या फिर कभी कुछ होगा भी रिलेशनशिप में, बट वो सारी चीजें ठीक हो गई है। थैंक यू, थैंक्स अ लॉट। थैंक यू चिरस्री।
Thank you. So who else here would like to share their idea of impossibility? Hello. 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 So who else would like to share their idea of what is impossible? So I don't know who wants to share. So there's like a lot of people who are meeting for the first time, a lot of people who have already met a lot of times. So hi Atul, what's your experience with impossibility?
Hello.
Hi, how are you? What's your idea of
I'm
impossibility?
from my side, there is nothing impossible. You can achieve what you want. That's why I can't think. I don't think that anything is impossible. I believe in I am possible. I am
Great.
strong. I am bold, and I am doing well. That's it.
Great. That's amazing. So these are three perspectives people who have worked with one-on-one, and
Yeah.
some months ago there was something which was impossible to you. So that has also transmuted now.
Yeah. 50% that is transmuted.
Okay.
I want to share that also. Nothing personal in that.
Yeah.
I'm going through a divorce case. I took your 10 minutes healing session. That's it. Only 10 minutes. And after that, I got a date, and the whole case is suddenly shift over on one that date.
Congratulations. So you have KiCat also.
They are
So
literally
KiCat
speaking that
plus
way.
that.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was not just the 10 minutes, it was KiCat plus that. So you've been
Yeah.
watching KiCat for a long time. So that's what is processing. So we will be beginning the magic now, which you've heard a lot about. So let's start. So yes. So first and foremost, what I'd like to share is that everybody is an aspect within. So this is the belief that we believe in quantum field, that everybody else is an aspect within. So everyone here, practically everybody present here is also present in you and are a molecular a speck of you inside. The smallest possible thing that can exist is an atom. And molecules are clusters around atom. So considering yourself to be an atom, which actually is an illusion because there's nothing. So if atom is the smallest particle unit and considering yourself to be atom, and if molecules are your perspectives and different types of perspectives which are limiting you, so transcending them and feeling nothingness in that molecule, you can manifest anything on earth. And that is kind of the major belief that we believe and share in quantum field. So the teaching that I share is based on molecules. So at this point, we'll all be getting into a journey of manifesting the impossible. So all of you, I'll request you all to just close your eyes and go to your heart space. And anything that, if you're currently manifesting something, great. If you're currently manifesting particularly something in your life, then I'll tell you to think about that. If there is some pain related to the manifestation, I'll ask you to think about that. So I don't know what will be the topic. So love or finance? I don't know what you all will prefer, so I'll incorporate both because relationship and finance are the most important, and of course, status that has also been incorporated and importance in society or recognition, wealth, relationship, health, and emotions. We're going to incorporate all the aspects today. So, the session is going to go pretty long. So, having to go to your heart space, go to that particular feeling in your heart where you think that something particularly is impossible. It can be your career, it can be health, it can be relationship, it can be anything. It can be getting somebody back whom you really, really love. Because I know a lot of you here are here for that because on the day, I think 95% of bookings I receive is to get back somebody who left you in the past. So whatever it is. So what is it, even if it is impossible, like you can never have $2 million or $2 trillion. Like million is basic, so you can never have $20 trillion. So whatever has been your limitation, so going there, whatever is your limit, we're going to feel that in our heart space basically. So we go into the heart space and we're tapping into the feeling where we think that there is a limit. So having to sit with the limit, layer that a lot of you might be coming up with right now is that it will not happen. There's this limit. Let's not try this. I don't want to expect and get hurt. So wherever you have this layer of I don't want to expect and get hurt, having to sit with that pain that comes up when you're saying I don't want to get hurt. Because when you're getting hurt, that sensation of hurt that you are feeling, that which you're anchored to, that whenever you're feeling hurt, whenever something emotional is happening or your expectation that you have is breaking, that is hurting. And when you're getting hurt, there is a particular feeling associated with being hurt. So whatever the particular feeling is associated to being hurt, as you sit with that feeling, and that particular feeling, wherever you're feeling in your heart space, it's tiny little molecule inside where you're particularly feeling that there is a particular space in your heart. Like when I'm saying you're getting hurt, there is a particular space where that little droplet is there, where which is hurting. So I'm asking you to give all the love to the little droplet, the little space inside where you're sensing the hurt. So wherever you are sensing that hurt, wherever you're feeling that hurt, As we sit with that hurt feeling, what's now coming up is a fear of not wanting to get hurt. So wherever we have considered that whatever we are looking for will not get that, then we'll get hurt. That's where the block is coming. A lot of times we cannot take risk. And the reason we cannot take risk is because, yeah, there's a saying that you cannot ever fail if you keep on trying. So the reason we fail is actually because we don't try. And to try is not to give up on this. So wherever you cannot take a risk is because you are associating risk to failure and that failure causing that hurt. So it comes back to this hurt. So wherever this pain is present in your vessel, going there and giving that love, as you sit with that painful feeling. So there's this part which is like, I don't want to get hurt. So as we sit with that part which is kind of traumatized, that I don't want to get hurt, I don't want to take the risk, I don't want to do this, I don't want to lose, I don't want to take that risk and go for that lottery ticket. It will not happen. I don't want to go and manifest that guy because he's not going to come back and it's going to hurt me even more. I don't want to just go and just manifest 2 crore rupees because it's impossible. So I'm not going to waste my time. So wherever this place in you, which is kind of traumatized because of that hurt feeling. So you're getting hurt and that hurt is creating trauma. Like, I don't want to try, I don't want to try, I don't want to try. This is getting us into a shell. I've observed a lot and I observe too much. That's how I figured these out because this is what I've been doing all. So as you sit with that part, which is kind of traumatized. So this is a belief that, so basically our belief creates reality. Our thoughts don't create reality. Our beliefs create reality. What we have integrated in our belief system, that can show up. Because universe loves us a lot, universe doesn't want to give us a heart attack. So that's the reason why. So wherever you are traumatized, no, it will not happen. No, it will not happen. So we're loving that part now. Right? It's like, it will not happen. It will not happen. As we love that part, that desire that, but I actually want it to happen is coming up. So as you're loving this part, right? It's like, it will not happen. It will not happen. As you're loving that part, and as we analyze the pain that this part is in, we come to a understanding that, okay, this part is in pain, this part is in anxiousness, because this part actually wants the manifestation that you are seeking. So when you're aware of it at that layer, that you actually wanted what you're seeking, you finally come to a state of, okay, I can have it, it's possible. That's for people who are already manifesting something, they are feeling that way. But for those who are now like, but it's wrong, I cannot manifest this because I cannot really manifest him because it's wrong. It's not right to manifest this person. So all of you who have the idea of right and wrong, this is for all of you. First of all, who created this idea? Who created the words right and wrong? Humans. Who created English alphabet? Humans. So another human being like you who created alphabets, gave meaning to them, and created a dictionary, believed in something, and just came up with a point of view to just share. We took it so seriously that we were like, no, this is right, this is wrong. And then we literally just sit down, okay, this is the list of things that are right, this is the list of things that are wrong. And we've been like frustrated with that feeling. We've been like coated in that feeling and we're like shaking inside literally with that feeling coat that, okay, this is right, this is wrong, and we cannot do this. We can't do that because this is right, this is wrong. And this is right, this is wrong because we do not want to offend God. We do not want to affect our conscience. We do not want to do anything against our conscience. But is God just our conscience? God is everything. Yes, right and wrong are just individual perception. Absolutely, you're there. Yes, absolutely. Right and wrong are just your individual perception. So wherever you have that this is right, no, that's wrong. Like, oh, it's not right to wake up at 10 a.m. when you're married. It's really wrong to wake up at 10 a.m. when you're married. That's an idea because society, that's again coming to the societal conditioning that society has told that this is how it should be, that is how it should be, this is the desired way, that is the desired way. If you do this desired way, you would be loved. So it's ultimately from that need for validation, need for gratification, need for that love. And that need for that desire, need for that love goes obviously back to the need for love of the divine, of God. So is God just our conscience? So we think that we have to be right from our conscience. But a lot of times what happens is that we are not happy with our choices. So we've decided from our conscience that, yeah, it's from my conscience. It's so right to not have ice cream because I'll put on weight. But you really are feeling like having that ice cream. So when you're doing that from for your conscience and then you're regretting it, are we really doing justice to our conscience? So whenever we are choosing something, this is right, that is wrong, but I want that, but I can't have it because it's wrong. So automatically when we do that, there's a grudge. Like, oh, I can't have it. And obviously the grudge is with God, the grudge is with Creator. That, oh my God, I can't have it. Life is so unfair. Life is so unjustified. Life is so not good because I can't have it. That is again because we deep down want that. So having to integrate this layer now where we have this thought process that no, this is right, that is wrong, we come to a layer that, but I have tried, which even Rubina Ma said, and I hear this from a lot of my clients that I've tried changing my partner's perspective, but it did not change. Or I tried to change somebody's thought process, it did not happen. So, as Rubina Ma said, yes, this is a very important topic, as I said, because whenever we are thinking that, okay, so I'll give the example as you want your boyfriend to just be yours. Whether you're in a relationship or you're not, doesn't matter. I mean, whether you're manifesting him back or you're right now together, it doesn't matter. So you just want him to be all yours. So if you want him to be all yours and give you all the attention, and where he is doing something else. So there is a particular person, the person you're expecting him to do something, and the person is doing something else. So whatever ideas you have that are resonating, this is like $1 million tip which will change your life permanently. And I have never shared it ever out loud unless in my classes or sometimes in my one-on-one sessions. So the person in concern is you because everybody is an aspect of you with it. So the person in concern is, so suppose that person is your boyfriend and or your ex-husband, whatever that example is. I'll give the example of ex-boyfriend because most people here are here for that. Twin flames. So consider the person is your twin flame. So shout out to all the twin flames here. So considering your partner is your twin flame, and now you are in separation, and your partner is not with you, and you want your partner to come back. And there has been a lot of issues and ups and downs in the relationship, and of course, you had your share of issues, and he had his share of issues. Like you can't clap with one hand. So the person and you have broken up, and all that jazz, and the person is dating somebody else. Third part, intervention. So the most talked about topic in my community. So third party intervention has happened and your DM is with a karmic. So what do you do now? Your DM is with a car. And now, yes, the drama. As Sarvapriya says, yes. So now your dream is with karmic. What do you do? So wherever you, the divine feminine, or you are like, okay, he's with this person, he's with that person. This is like the secret. The secret. Point out all Alka, like you just, she is also working with me one-on-one right now. And I have been doing this experiment on her and shifted her literally. So the fun part is that write down every point where you think that you don't deserve him. It can be money also. So you want this, you cannot have it. What are your reasons why you can't have it? Why is it so hard to get this? Why is it so resistant to get this? What are your reasons? So whatever your reasons are of why you can't have it, once okay, you can say that we had a terrible fight and I do not know what to do. I think Amita is also here. Deepika is also here. So I'm like, so a lot of people here are working on this currently. So wherever you think that this is the reason, so the reason one can be, I don't deserve him. So he cheated on me. I don't want him. Or I cheated on him. I'm so much in guilt. So whatever the reason is, that is reason number one. Next reason can be this person has moved on and this is like the most dramatic reply I've received. So yes, twin flame. I hear Shreya. So next would be, I cannot be with this person because this person is with somebody else and uske khushi mein hi meri khushi hai. In that happiness only my happiness is there. I let this person go. If this person is mine, this person will come back. But when you're letting go at that and you're like, I'm letting you go. You're not mine. You will not be happy. Deep down, I won't be happy. And I'm going to continue to curse you inside because I'm not happy. And I'll ensure I curse the universe also and I fight with the universe also because I'm not at all happy with this decision, but I'm pretending because modesty bhi zaruri hai yaar. So after the layer of modesty, another layer that stops you is that no, it's okay. If you need, it's meant to be, it'll be. If God doesn't want it, it won't be. My life is only that. I'm here to suffer. I was born to suffer. My life is just full of suffering. Welcome to victim consciousness. So whatever we are thinking we want to do is everything is based on your perspective, and it's not really about your feeling also, because your feeling can change in a second as your perspective changes. So you can change your feelings by changing your perspective. So whatever your reason is, and all first or the reason can be, it's just wrong to manipulate another person. So going back to right and wrong concept again. So suppose you want to, I'm going to give you a very different example from work life so that it's relatable on a grand level. So you want somebody to pass you a tender. So you want somebody to sign you a tender. And it is not manipulating that person's thought process if that person is signing it for you because you really want it. There's nothing like, you're not harming that person in any way. So similarly, you want your specific person who you and you have broken up, and that person is with somebody else, and you're not happy with that, and you just want to break that relationship and want that person back in your life. There's nothing wrong in that either. So wherever we think that no, it's wrong, this, that, we're getting into that guilt, shame, low vibration zone. They're like, no, this is wrong. And the moment we get into guilt, that starts to get us into apathy, and we just go and swirl into the cycle and maximum reach up to fear, and then again go back. And I would say from shame to apathy, till that feeling from say 20 hertz to approximately I think 50, 60 hertz is the energy of 3D. So 3D, 4D, 5D, 6D, 7D are all your frequencies and dimensions happening here. It's all here. So wherever you have this stuckness in you that I cannot do this, I cannot do that, you get into that zone of guilt. And a great way to manifest is to walk through your emotional charge frequency, and that's what we will be doing in some time though. A great way to manifest is to integrate those each and every emotion and shift your consciousness. And that is a greater way to raise your frequency about a particular matter when you're getting into the guilt trip. Most of the manifestations don't come true because of this is right or that is wrong. So these resistances are the main root cause of suffering, because what does not let us get everything are our resistances or limits. So wherever you have this guilt, because guilt is like guilt, shame are like the lowest vibration. So I'm going to be starting from that vibration to shift that. Wherever you have guilt in your embodiment, go to that point in your heart space. What about your manifestation makes you guilty? So we are clearing the statements basically why you can't have it. It's so strong. What makes you feel ashamed? No, it's so wrong. I can't have it. I'm so ashamed I lose weight. If I am so ashamed I look good, people will be like, people will not like me and I look good and I'm happy. That's also another set of block, but wherever you have shame, considering I'm ashamed, I can't change this particular person's point of view. It's just so wrong. It's not I can't do it. It's just that my conscience won't let me do it. I'm just so ashamed. You're just so ashamed. And that shame is like, I'm so guilty of wanting this even. I am so guilty of even asking for this. I'm so sad. So this is 30 hertz. Next comes apathy. Then you immediately like, but I can't have it. This is apathy. This is what exactly I was talking about. Because we are like, okay, we let it go. And you're like, but I wanted it. I hate you, God. Why are you doing this to me? So now we shift to apathy. But I can't have it. I really, really wanted it so bad. Life is so unfair to me. I do not like that life is doing this to me. I do not want to go through this. Okay, Ashwini says you're reading my mind. So I do not want to go to this. This is too much. I do not want to I go through apathy. I mean, I do not want to go through this process. Like, I feel so guilty and I can't have it. Like, who on earth has created this idea of right and wrong? Who on earth has said that I can't have my ex-boyfriend in the particular version I desire? Who on earth has given me this guilt and shame that I cannot break them apart and he can't just leave her and stop talking to her? I just do not want. Okay, this is another important topic, a bit different from no contact separation. Due respect and love to all the no contact separation, this will help you all too. So wherever you're like, but I just don't want him to talk to her even. He should just hate the karmic. But no, it's so wrong. I feel so shame and guilt that if he doesn't stop, I mean, if I make them stop being friends, if they are not friends, that's so wrong. I feel so guilty. But you're like, I wish they were not friends. I hate their friends. Like, who on earth made them friends? I hate you, God, if they are friends. Like, why on earth did they become friends? God, this is what you wanted to give me? You want me to be in shame, God? God, you put me in shame? God, you put me in redemption? So, wherever you have this thought process that God, you put me in shame, God, you put me in redemption, I'm going through a lot of sin, I'm feeling very full of sin. So, the idea of sin is also human created, because obviously a person who chooses to be a serial killer out there wasn't at all thinking about right and wrong in their perspective. So it varies from person to person. So wherever we have considered that something that we desire is right or wrong, and because of that, we've got into that zone that it's so wrong to get it. We give birth to apathy, rage, rebelliousness, frustration, jealousy. This is where it streams from. Comparison. I'm not good enough. Trying to make others happy. Living a life to please others. People pleasing. This is where it streams from. And when it's streaming from there, it's naturally going to grief. Welcoming depression and stress. Stage 1 of spiritual awakening. So, welcoming grief. And you're like in a lot of grief, in a lot of pain, that okay, I accept that I can't have it, and I'll have to spend this life just seeing them together. And I'll accept it. This was only in my karma. This is because of my past life karma. Past life? No, this is actually because of my karma which happened in the life which is 1,000 years ago. And the life I had done something, that is why I'm suffering. So it's okay. I accept it. This is where you get into grief. And with that, grief comes in fear, because you're like, okay, I'm in a lot of grief. I cannot have what I have. So I must have done something wrong. And because I asked for that, I already did another karma. So you're in a lot of fear. And there is no cabal slavery, this slavery, that slavery conditioning working against you, because you create your reality, and it's your emotional thought process, emotional changes that is causing this up and down, up and down, up and down. And this exactly happened to Adam and Eve when they had the apple. So they had the apple out of curiosity, and upon having the apple out of curiosity, God came and triggered them in place of that. I asked you not to have, why did you have? That got in fear in them. When they had fear, they swirled back to shame. And then they were like, oh, we are naked. So wherever there is this fear that I must have made a mistake. I must have made a mistake wanting my guy to not talk to that particular person. Must have been my mistake. I'm so controlling. That must have been. Again, giving yourself that objection of being controlling and then getting into that shame again. I'm so bad. I'm so terrible. So you have fear, and I should be punished. With fear comes, I deserve punishment. I have done something wrong. And why basically we want punishment, why we want suffering? Punishment is actually the suffering we choose in life, because when we are in that fear and we are choosing to suffer and choosing to punish, so you're like, okay, I don't want him, I let him go, I'm ready for suffering. Suffering is one of the most miraculous ways to get your manifestation. Why? And why most people awaken after suffering? 95% who spiritually awaken are coming from a background of suffering, 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 and then they have their liberation. The reason is because every time you are suffering, you are increasing your resiliency and threshold to endure more. And so every time you want something and you did not get that pain itself is pushing you furthermore. So you are breaking your limits of resistances internally of the emotions, which at that point, because of the presence of fear, because of that anxiousness, is clouded behind the veil. So it's clouded. So this clouded part that is there, and this clouded zone that is there, you literally get into that zone in that cloud that I have a lot of fear. I have a lot of this. I shouldn't do this. I shouldn't do that. And you choose to suffer. You're like, I choose this life of suffering. And a lot of times we notice I was there. We notice that we give, and receiving block. But basically, by giving a lot, even in pranic healing, that was like the first thing I had learned in pranic healing, that give. If you don't have, give. And I was like, what? That was the first thing I had learned. And in that was the first certification I had got. So the point is that whenever you are in that zone of I won't give, why giving opens your receiving is because you're giving. You have a receiving block. So you want 5 crore rupees, and you're like, 5 crore rupees to me? Ram. How is it possible? No. Give me 50 rupees, I'm happy. So with that mentality, God is like, let's play a game with you. You start giving. Like, I don't have any money. I'm losing everything. I am asking for money. I better have 5,000 rupees. So from 50 rupees, you have shifted to 5,000 rupees. So you're like, oh my God, I have 5,000 rupees. I should again get into give. You've lost. You're like, enough. I can't lose anymore. I'm done. I deserve more. So you shift furthermore, and this I deserve more shifts you to like, okay, I deserve more. I'm open to more money coming my way. I'm no longer resisting myself in this suffering. Similarly, your twin flame, which is like most of you are a twin flame. So your twin flame is in a point, as is literally not talking to you, is dating someone else. There's a third party karmic in your relationship. So what happens is that you're in full stalker mode on. So you're like checking that, okay, he clicked photo with her. My life is over. Now I can't do anything. I can't do anything. And I'm so sad about it. I'm so pissed about it. I'm so sad and pissed about it. I'm really sad. So now you get into the zone of I'm really sad about, instead of energy gets you, energy money gets. So if you give money, you get money. If you give energy, you get energy. If you give love, you get love. If you give knowledge, you get knowledge. That's what I have been manifesting 24/7. So more knowledge. So you are in that zone that no, I saw their picture, I'm so sad. And when you see that, okay, you see that thing and you're like, oh my God, I'm so sad. I'm so pissed. And after being so sad and so pissed, you automatically get into the zone that enough, I let go. But with that let go, another part of you is getting extended that, okay, enough. I have gone through a lot. I deserve better. I deserve to be treated better. I deserve everybody else to treat me better. He better not be with this girl. I'm going to go to a Vashigaran Baba. I'll do anything, but this has to end. It wouldn't have happened if you did not see that photo and you wouldn't have got triggered. So you're like manifesting and you're like, but I did manifestation and now this person is choosing someone else. Okay, so that person is choosing someone else. That should hurt you terribly. You should be very, very, very hurt about it. And once you realize and accept, the first most important point, when you accept that, okay, that person is choosing someone else, I accept it. How do I feel about it? A part of you will be numbed out, a part of you will have feelings. The part of you who has feelings, love that part. The part of you who has numbed out is your main focus, because that's what is going to be your, that's what is your block to manifestation. So the part of you which is numbed out and is feeling powerless, basically is getting into that guilt, shame, I can't have it, fear, it's all gone, I'm getting into the darkness, I'm getting into that victimhood, I'm getting into that zone of everything is over for me. And the moment you come to that realization of that fear and repeated suffering sometimes, and we choose our suffering and repeated suffering, those informations are available to us all, but it depends on where we are emotionally, depends on where our molecular blocks are. Wherever our molecule, the main thing is that the pain or anything that you're feeling inside is happening in this zone. And if you consider them as molecules, literally tiny, 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 tiny molecules, changing the observation of how that molecule is feeling, you can immediately change your perspective in a second. And as you immediately change your perspective in a second, you immediately get into that flow of it's happening, it's happening, it's happening. And you get into that let go, living in the end zone. But you cannot let go with that idea that, okay, a lot of times what happens is that you really want to be with this person, and coach is telling you that you have to let go. You're like, I won't let go. If I let go, he'll not come back. And the person is telling you, let go. Like, I can't let go. You don't know. So I'll tell you, it's normal to have that, because you love that person so much. You're like, I wouldn't let this happen. This cannot leave me. You're actually living in the end, by the way. You don't realize that, because you're like, I can't let it go. This is mine. So you know this is yours. So wherever, this is yours, but you are in pain. Or rather, you are in desire that this is mine, but it's not with me. I want it. So I want it. It's a desire. Like, this isn't mine, but I really want it. So with that desire, you finally are like, okay, I really want it. I won't let go. I really, really want it. And when somebody's saying, let go, like very much angry, like, no, I'm not going to let go. This is mine. So you're claiming it. Like, this is mine. So when you're claiming it, this is yours. So when you have claimed it and like, this is mine, after that, this is mine zone, that this belongs to me, you automatically have that wanting, that desire, that I wish this was mine. I wish things were happening this way. I wish this manifestation came true. I wish this was possible. I wish this wasn't impossible. And then comes the anger that, but this is impossible. And this is where I come in to make you realize that impossible is nothing. So wherever you think that, okay, but I am so angry, but this is impossible. So this is impossible because point one, you've tried loads of methods of manifestation and they haven't really worked, and you've been trying everything and it didn't really work out. Yes, everything is happening in divine order and divine timing. And your manifestation, that seed of desire, that seed of want, has been put in God. Put in by God. That seed of desire is planted by God in you. So what is this exact concept is that, okay, Ashwini says that everything that I'm talking is something that she's exactly feeling. Divine feminine vibes. So the energy is that wherever you are in that zone, that I really desire something, I really want something, I really want my boyfriend probably to give me attention. Bro, like enough of flirting around. Come on, like whatever it is. And anybody here who's judging yourself for opposite sex friendship, like you do not want opposite sex friendship in a relationship, and you're like, it's so wrong to ask for that. It's not wrong. So considering you're asking for that, we have a lot of clients here. Here I have Shruti. Yes, I have a lot of clients who tell me this, and it's not wrong, bro. It's your choice. Everything is your choice. So if I tell you, like, if you want to, you come to my house and you're like, hey, I'll have a cup of tea. I'm like, no, you have to have coffee. Same thing. If somebody is telling you this is wrong, I'm like, tell them, like, I prefer veg. So anyway, wherever you have, suppose you have this thought process that I do not want my boyfriend to have opposite sex friends. Tough example. So tough aspect to deal with, controversial aspect to deal with. So wherever you have this desire, very okay. And then Raj is telling, it's very useful information. Thank you. I might just mispronounce the names because I'm Bengali. So please be patient. But eventually, as more workshops we all meet, I'll be getting used to all the names. So please don't mind. So you have that desire that I want it. With this want that you do not want your partner to have opposite sex friends. Aka is like, yes, true. So, so you get into that zone that, oh my God, ये मैंने क्या oh ये मैंने क्या मांग लिया नहीं 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 Sonali is also saying me too ये तो गलती हो गई मुझसे मुझे तो redemption चाहिए I should be completely swayed away and casted out of the society because I should be in so much of shame I should be in so much of guilt because I have made this choice or you don't or you're like me you want to be with your karmic and not your twin flame. So you are like I don't want to be with my or you're the runner and you're like I don't want to be with my twin flame I'm happily in love with my person I want to stay with my person like go away my twin flame. You want to bhagao that person and you're like no it's so wrong that person is God. What are you? What am I? What is everybody here? Everybody is God. We're all one. We're all made up of same thing biologically. And the system works perfectly the same way for all of us. All resistances blocks are same for all of us because that's also state, consciousness and everything. System literally the human biological vessel. It's literally called vessel, the instrument in Bhagavad Gita because we are vessel and that vessel. So we are like a system. So if you go and have a system of electricity in your like everybody has that electricity system in their board switchboard all the wiring and everything that has to be done for that current to flow and when you connect everything for everything to charge up and everything system is same whether you buy from this company or that company. So whichever class you're from according to you class creed sex what else do we have caste, creed, sex, class, then a lot of things we have. Whatever you have, put yourself, whichever box you put yourself in, ultimately it's the same. We all come in the same process, we'll be living in the same process at some time here. And we are continuously pleasing people and because they have some particular image, but they have created that image. You can be anything. Today you can be an actress, tomorrow you can be a fashion designer, day after tomorrow you can be a therapist, or you can be all at once together. I was the first one to introduce pick a tarot reader. And I used to enact different roles and do tarot reading because I wanted to implement everything and I implement everything I do, whatever I feel like whenever I feel like. And that is because I do not have a particular image like this is how I should be, this is how I am. I don't care. Because I want to live my life and have fun. So if you have put yourself in a particular image, like this is how I behave and this is how I have to behave. And because of that, if you are suffering, because of that box, if you're suffering, it's again coming from your choice. And you can just choose that, okay, I don't choose it anymore. Like, okay, this is my choice. And that choice is also causing a lot of anger. Like, I'm not very happy in this choice. So, going back to the example of opposite sex friendship, so you do not want it in your relationship, and it's your choice. Wherever there is guilt, shame attached to your choice, that is because of conditioning and experiences that you've had because of past hurt. So this is not just for the relationship, it can be anything. It can be guilty for earning money. I've had this block personally in my life when I used to be very guilty of charging money. Like I used to feel so bad. I was that person who was feel like people will pay their hard-earned money to pay me. I didn't realize back then I was also working hard, but I'm like, I'm not working hard. This is easy for me. This is what I do 24/7. I'm always thinking. So I was there and I was like, no, it's so difficult to. Atul says me too. So yes, I used to be like, this is so difficult to charge money. I used to have that really guilt. Really, I've suffered that guilt for a long time in my career that I was like, oh my God, it's so difficult to Sarvapriya says where I am. So yeah, you have that guilt and wherever in your body, been there, done that, Ashwini says. So wherever you have any kind of guilt in your system, it can be anything. Like I just do not want to do my keto diet. I want to have some pizza, but at times I get into this zone. I do not want to put on makeup and deck up, but I have a one-on-one with my clients. But my clients are usually very understanding and they don't mind me without makeup. So wherever you have some kind of guilt. So I'm just guilty that I don't feel like uploading video today. So if you are YouTuber, there's a lot of you here are professionals. So I don't feel like uploading video today. I'm so guilty, but I have to. So wherever on earth you have your have to, the root cause of your suffering is I have to do this. So if you want to manipulate your boyfriend, so if you want to manipulate your boyfriend and you're like, he has to behave in that way, that is where your guilt is coming. So you do not want opposite sex friendship in marriage. So you're like, I have to have it. Whenever you're like, I have to have it, have is making you feel guilty. Oh, I can have it. It's possible. I can have a relationship where my partner does not prefer opposite sex friendship. Anyone out here who has this problem is out of that problem permanently. I can have a business where I can charge. It's cool. I can try charging. I can try. I'm curious. I can be curious to charge. I have to earn. You're back to that. I have to earn. I'm so anxious. Where is the money coming? Been there. Been there for pretty okay. Ishan says he is out of it. Great. So wherever you have to have something, that's what is repeatedly taking you in guilt and not getting your manifestation. You can have anything when it's a choice. You can change anybody's point of view when it's a choice. How? Everybody is you. So you want to manifest somebody to be your, there is this person and you are selling something, you are an entrepreneur and you have a particular product and you're doing your client pull, sales pulls. And when you're pulling your sales and you're pulling some people towards you, you are like, they have to come to me. When the moment you're like, they have to try this yourself, Just go to your heart and say, this has to happen. You will feel a pressure. Try, experiment it. Here, I by mistake, I said no, experience to experiment. Because my life is a science experiment. Like my life is a living chemistry lab with molecules. So wherever you have this thought process that this has to happen, this has to be this way, has to go to that part, has to, whatever that is. I have to have 2 crore rupees. You will feel a pressure exactly in this zone. It's like a triangular thing going towards the end and just giving you a lot of pressure. And that pressure internally in your heart space, that triangular thing, heavy down thing, which is giving you pressure, is like a blockage. And if you literally can feel it, you literally can feel its texture too. And that is exactly how ego's texture is. And if you try to feel its color, you might be able to relate to a color however you relate to your ego. I'd see it as maybe some would see it as dark red, some would see it as black, some would see it as yellow, whatever it is. So wherever you have, like, I have to have something, you automatically get into the zone that ab kuch nahi hona hai. It's so wrong. You are choosing to suffer because you're like, this has to happen. Universe is full of possibilities. Future is full of possibilities. Universe is a free universe. There's full of free will. You can do anything you want to. You can just be anything you want to. When you can do anything, have anything, everything is a possibility. So wherever you have this have to, now we are flipping it back and you're like, okay, I can have it. I can have what I'm seeking for. I can have the money. I can have the kind of relationship that I seek. I can have the kind of life that I desire. I can have the kind of sales that I desire. I can have the kind of reputation I desire. I can make the kind of market value of my own self the way I desire. I can be recognized for my potential the way I desire. The moment you shift to I can from I have, you automatically loosen up that energy. But this comes to a point, fear. Why do we control? We control because of fear. Because we want something and we do not want something else. And when we do not want something else, and we want particularly something, and the moment when we are like, I can have it, that starts to play a part in us, which is automatically in that fear that, but what if I don't have it and I have something else? And this is exactly where you get into that zone of fear. And you are literally like kind of scared that, can I really have it? And this is where how to live the impossible comes in. So, how do you live the impossible? First of all, the fear will also have a lot of anger attached to it, but I really wanted it that way. Now, oh God, I have to just make a choice. It's so confusing. So, first of all, you have to be proud of what you are asking for. If you really can ask for something and believe in something, then you can manifest it. You have to be proud in your perspective. Only then that perspective can be a reality. You have to be really, really proud. Pride is also good. So you have to be proud of your viewpoint. So a lot of people are like, I'm not being seen. I'm not being heard. Are you proud of yourself? I'm not being loved. Are you loving yourself? Pride is also being your best friend in crying, being a best friend, really loving yourself, self-love, and Coming to that zone that, okay, I choose self-love, I choose to be proud of what I'm believing, I choose to be proud of my decisions. Wherever you are choosing that thing that, okay, I'm proud of my choice. Again, you might get into guilt. Disclaimer in advance, you might get into guilt if you are coming from like, I have to get it, so I'm proud of it. It'll get you back to 20 hertz. I'm so ashamed of doing this. So if you want to surely have it, like 100 and 1,000 and 10,000, 2,000% sure you want to have it, then you're having the pride that, okay, I'm proud that it's a possibility and I can experience that possibility. I'm proud of that possibility. So I'm proud I can have coffee, I can have tea, but I prefer coffee. So I'm proud of that possibility that there is coffee. Or I can have cold drink and I'm proud of the possibility cold drinks exists. So with that comes is your courage. So the very concept, I love this quotation from Mountain Dew. And why I brought up Mountain Dew is to address a very important aspect. So Mountain Dew, for all of you who do not know, is a soft drink and it has a quotation of "Dar ke aage jeet hai," so which means after fear there is victory. So I pointed out Mountain Dew. A lot of people tell me, okay, they are 3D company, that is 4D company, that is 6D company, that company is bad, that company is evil, that company is that. Point is, every business is God meant. Business itself is a spiritual game, and that's a quote by Tony Robbins. And for all of you who don't know, I'm a certified student of Tony Robbins, and I am extremely grateful for that grand opportunity that I had in my life. I'm a certified student of Tony Robbins and Dean Graziosi. So I'm a knowledge broker, certified knowledge broker, and that was one of the greatest shift of my life ever. So as Tony Robbins always says, that business is a spiritual game, and it's literally your business. You have to understand your business on the inside and feel your business on the inside to get a complete grasp of understanding that everything in your reality, be it your relationship, be it your business, be it your health, it's all aligned on the same page. But that's actually something that you can feel inside at a very deeper level. So everything is on the same page. And wherever you are in your business, wherever you are in your personal life, everything is correlated. So if a person is choosing to be a stationery shop owner, that person is no less spiritual than you and I. First of all, you cannot write your journal without journals. Secondly, you need pens. So next time you say, oh my God, that's such a 3D choice. Okay. So a person is choosing to be working in a company that creates, say, steel. If you weren't working there, or creates glasswares, that person wasn't working there, and the glassware, the steel utensils weren't there, where would you eat? Leaves? We would be eating on leaves. So industrialization itself is a part of evolution. So it's all happening together. No industrialist has said that, hey, you cannot be spiritual, you cannot pray God. No industrialist said ever. Nobody back in industrial age started told that you have to work all hard here. It was the choice. So if there was no cotton mill and silk mill, we wouldn't be wearing the clothes. Now, very spiritual people will tell me that we do not need clothes. We do not need clothes. You don't need to wear clothes. You can be naked. We are naked inside and outside. It's my choice to wear clothes and look pretty. I love my naked self, but all the time I cannot be naked. I can be like, sometimes I can be naked, sometimes I can wear clothes, varieties. All the time naked gets boring. So there is no industry which is less spiritual. And now coming to the idea of educational system. So planet is constantly evolving. We are constantly evolving every second. 2 seconds ago, how where we were when the workshop started, where we were, we are not where we were, will not be where we are in 2 seconds. We are constantly in the process of evolution. So when the evolution was happening, based on whatever the collective understanding is, collective energy is, collective state of economy is, collective state of everything is, it's impacting everybody. That's where collective energy reading comes in, twin flame consciousness, everything comes in, and that's where we relate to each other. That's where one consciousness comes in. That's where we are all one comes in. So we are constantly evolving. We're constantly growing. We're constantly getting into that zone. So once you're constantly getting into that zone of growing and processing and transcending, everything is evolving in its own way. So everything is revitalizing and evolving in its own way, and everything is integrating in its state of consciousness. So Reiki, for example, level 1 came, then after level 1, the person came up with level 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So this is a process of evolution. This is a process of growth. So this led to the understanding of this. That led to the understanding of something else. And that's how we have been evolving. And that's how the process of evolution is continuing. So somebody in the past, when the educational system was being created and structured, thought so that okay, this is a structure. So when I personally I have courses, and I'm sure a lot of you here are entrepreneurs. So when we build courses, we have to have lessons and streaming. And once I personally was like, educational system is this, educational system is that. I was there. And after that, when I transcended that, I realized that it is actually in a structure where each layer in those structure have integrated a lot of things together, but we have to just open our minds to see that how it's connecting to all that is, and everything is connecting to all that is if we try to see from that perspective. But if we are not seeing from that perspective, we're just seeing it in a particular way and we're just getting bored and just cheating it. Because our focus is probably to mug up or just know and just go and write that in the exam, just get down with the exam. Because we have been structured in a perspective of you go to school, you give exam, you pass. That's a process. If you pass, you're good. If you don't pass, you're not good. It's a process. You have to do this process where the possibility of what else can you do is taken away. And it's taken away at a very young age. In fact, in Indian society, it's like you will take commerce, you will take arts, your life is finished. You have to take science. So all these have tos have ruined it for us. Wherever there is can, there is a possibility of, okay, I can do my work later. And you're like, I have to do my work now. So you might be in that state ever. I'm sure a lot of you have experienced that I have to do it now. You get into the zone of boredom that you're like, I have to do this. I cannot take this shit anymore. I have to do it in this way. I have to do my work now. You'll be like, oh, I did my work. I have to work so much. It's so boring because you're getting into I have to. And you're like, okay, I can do it. Let's do it out of curiosity. What else can I do to do it a bit different? How can I just get my work more improvised? How can this get better? How can I just improvise on this? So you're like, what else can I do? Oh, okay, I can. So the moment you change your life from rigidity to flexibility, your life transmutes. I love it too, Jessica. Your life transmutes. So now when you're like changing that, okay, I can have it, it's possible. Like yeah, it's possible. I can go to a disc. It is possible. Like, I have to go to a disc. My mom asked me, a very common example you have for sure seen all your life in growing up. I have to go to the disc. And your mom is like, you cannot go. You have to go. And you're like, I have to go. You fight, and then you end up going, or like, oh, I'm not so happy after coming here. And you're like, okay, I can go. It's okay. I can go and do this. So can I go? You'll get the permission. Trust me. So when I was going for my college degrees, so I'm a college dropout and I have studied in 6 institutions. And I was quite a good student. And I was studying in Jadavpur University, which is like one of the best universities here. And then I fell in love with a man. And I wanted to go and stay where he stays and basically drop out and focus on my business and focus on my work. Because I was like, I had read a lot of entrepreneurial stories and stuff, and I always wanted to just be an entrepreneur, be very successful, have a lot of money, travel all the world, chill, and have a lot of fun. Basically, I always wanted to have a lot of fun in life and play. I never wanted to stop playing. I hated to grow up because, oh shit, when people grow up, they don't play. Thank you for being here, Meenaji. So whenever I was in that zone, I was like, okay, I joined this college. Like, no, I don't like it. So I had to go there. So like, my mom wouldn't agree to send me there. I had never ever left my city. And my mom did not allow me to do a sleepover at people's place. I'm like, I don't know how will she allow me to go all the way and stay in Vellore. But I have to go there and study there. And because he's there, I have to stay with him to stay together. So I still remember, I'm like, okay, I don't know if she'll agree or not. This was way back in 2015. So yeah, 2015, I went there. So 15, I went to my mom. I'm like, okay, maximum she'll not agree. If she doesn't agree, we'll tell something else. We'll anyway manage her. So let's try. She's like, can I just go there and study? I had said that. It worked. So it works. So wherever you're like, my husband has to come back to me. My husband can come back to me. So can you just come back to me and we can be together? Trust me, shift can happen. So you don't have to even tell that person, hey, hello, you're not in contact. Hello, you know what? Can we just do it? Instead of that, you can just do it energetically also. So say you an opposite sex friendship thing, which is very popular again in my community. So wherever you are like, he has to stop talking to girls. So can I just believe that he can stop talking to girls? Can you just stop talking to girls and can you just be the kind of possessive I am? Your manifestation is granted. I have to have 5 billion rupees. Can I just have 5 billion rupees and my life will be so good when I have 5 billion rupees? I can have help so many people with 5 billion rupees and I can change so many lives with 5 billion rupees. So can I just have 5 billion rupees? So this one statement can change your life. So you have to be proud of that choice. If you are like, no, this choice is utterly wrong. Like, I cannot have this choice. This is so wrong. So if you're judging that choice and not proud of that choice, you'll be constantly correcting yourself. No, don't choose that. Don't choose that. Wrong choice, wrong choice. So after this comes literally that courage in you. Like, you have that courage. So this is where the Mountain Dew thing came up with. Dar ke aage jeet hai. So you finally have that courage to get it. And while you have that courage to get it, if it's your business and stuff, if you fall back, we've already talked about the 3D, 5D idea, because I do have a lot of people who tell that, okay, this is holistic, that isn't holistic. We are all spiritual beings. We are all, means every human being out there, all 7.9 billion people on planet are spiritual beings having a human experience. What is spiritual understanding? Is your essence of wisdom, essence of understanding. Every human being has its essence of wisdom. Your depth, your deep feelings, emotions, your deep-seated understanding of who you are on the inside. Every human being has that essence of feeling inside. That's how connected we are. That's how similar we all are. That sense of feeling liberation, that sense of feeling oneness, that sense of feeling of love, the sense of sensation of when you feel love, when you are love, you all feel that essence of oneness when we are all love. We're all feeling the same sensation when we are saying love. We're all feeling the same sensation when I'm saying fear, grudge, anything I'm saying, you're feeling that same sensation. So wherever you're having that same sensation, that same feeling, that's by the virtue of essence, we're all one. We're all in the same page. So can I manifest my twin flame? Because when I'm choosing spiritual path, my twin flame is choosing a 3D path. Is he my twin flame? A lot of twin flame experts will tell you no, he's not. He's not choosing spirituality. He's not choosing to do the inner work. He's not choosing to serve us like you do. You're not. He's not. He's a false twin flame. First of all, whether somebody is your twin flame or not is also something you decide. Twin flame is basically the one. Who decide who's the one for you? Today you were like, this is the one. You dated that person for a while. You don't want to date and this is the one. So the one can change. Yes, you have that one twin flame with whom you have one soul connection. That's great. And it's your choice to whether you want to choose to be with that person or not. And you can just choose to be with any person on earth. On a serious note, you can choose to be with any person on earth. So wherever this twin flame concept comes in, there also comes a restriction. Because a lot of times you're like, what if this person is not my twin flame? If I let go and call in my twin flame, somebody else comes in, but I want to be with this person. So if you are sure, if you are single AF, single AF, and you're like, okay, I want a new person, definitely you can call in that one true love, my twin flame, come to my life. But when you're like, I'm in love with this person, at hook or by crook, I want this person, you're doing inner work to get that person, you're doing everything to get that person. And when you're doing everything to get that person, and at the end of the day, you're not sure whether that person is your twin flame or not, it gets kind of dicey when you get to know that, okay, can I just only manifest my twin flame? Do I have to be only with my twin flame? Do I have to end up only with my twin flame? Because the earth is ascending. He's not ascending. He's out of earth. He's in Mars. So wherever the ascension is happening internally, the growth, the wisdom, the understanding is happening internally. So your person is in real estate, and that person, every business gives you a realization. No matter where you are, you have a state of realization and understanding in life, and a state of centeredness and oneness and realization, understanding, and wisdom comes to you in your heart. And that wisdom that liberates you and transcends you, that takes you to the next level, shifts you through everything, and raises your frequency, raises your vibration, take you to a dimension where you are in a new feeling altogether because you had that realization. Why the collective frequency matches with everybody every day? Because we are all having a particular realization and shift every day on a collective level, which is happening in everybody. So we are all having a realization, understanding, a shift every day and transcending through the blocks and ascending and evolving as a collective. A lot of people do not focus on it as ascension. A lot of people focus on it as ascension. A lot of us who are focusing it on as ascension, we are looking for different things in life. We are focusing on less or of how we are seeing it. We are seeing it in a more spiritual way. We are seeing it through blogs. We are seeing it through the journey. We are putting in the work. We're doing all the work. We're seeing it from that dimension. When we are seeing it from that dimension, we are getting into that zone. We are completely into this so much that we want to see the transformation shift and magic happening here and the whole world to wake up, and we are waiting. And it has already happened. It's already happening. It's here now. We are here. We are the shift. We are happening here and now. So wherever you're waiting, in that wait, we get into that misery. But the point is that when you come and have that courage, that another thing to manifest something in particular is that consider that this is a very common concept that is talked about in the manifestation and the metaphysical community, that considering that this is neutrality basically, that whatever you want deep down, that person wants that too. So whatever I want deep down, there is this deep sense of feeling, deep sense of understanding, that deep sense of liberation, that deep sense of oneness, that deep sense of tranquility, that deep sense of peace, that deep sense of feeling when you are not being judged, you are not being ostracized, you're not being made to feel bad, you can just freely be who you wish to be. We're all seeking for that. So wherever we're all seeking for that, however you seek for it is how your person is seeking for it. Wherever you cannot believe it, like, oh no, he's not. I am seeking for the committed relationship. He's a playboy. You don't know, ma'am. I have heard this. Most, you don't know, ma'am. Nothing can change him. He's a playboy. But are you willing to choose that he can be the sophisticated guy who's completely into you and not playing around and not flirting around, but can be completely yours? Are you willing to this takes us to willingness. But what we are mostly stuck up in that courage, and we cannot risk. A lot of us are not being able to take the risk, are not of us are not being able to take that courage, are not being able to gather that courage to do something or be something, because we are not willing to get hurt. We are not willing to take no for an answer. So never take no for an answer. Like manifestations, one of the most important aspect, that never take no for an answer. So wherever you are taking no for an answer, so you're not willing to have that. So you're automatically coming to a willingness point of what you don't want. It's easier to figure out what you don't want first. And once you have an idea, like, okay, I don't want this, I don't want this, I don't want this. And once you've just done your listing of I don't want this, now you're left with what you want. So this is a great way of shifting to. And this is why your negative thinking is in your team, supporting you towards your journey of achieving the impossible. So your impossible is like, hey. So you're like, hey, going there is impossible. That part is like, hey, I'm possible. So your willingness that, okay, you're like, I'm not willing to choose that. I can have the concept is that manifest a specific person in their desired version. So when you're manifesting a specific person or a specific situation in its desired version, specific bank account balance, specific business in its desired version, specific health in desired state. So when you want it in that desired state, you're like, I'm willing to have it, but I don't think I can have it. So you're getting back to that fear. So you're getting back to that fear because you are not very proud of that choice of how you are wanting to have it. You're proud of that choice because still there is that idea of right and wrong, good and bad. And that right and wrong, good and bad is holding you back at a layer. And right and wrong, good and bad layer over there is keeping you literally stuck, and the greatest tool I have ever experienced was access consciousness tool in that zone. That frequency is something can pull you out of is actually access consciousness. Listening to it repeatedly and playing it in loop can actually transcend you from that zone. So wherever you are in that zone, okay, this is right, this is wrong, this is right, this is wrong. Ashwini says yes, totally yes. Whenever you're stuck in that zone, this is right, this is wrong. This is right, this is wrong. Ashwini says I echo this. So this is right, this is wrong. This is right, this is wrong. This is right, this is wrong. This is getting you into zone. By the way, I can recommend you all a thing that is access consciousness tool, which is basically right and wrong, good and bad, pot and pock, all nine shorts, boys and beyond. So that is something that you can say repeatedly. So this is wrong, this is right. I'll give you an example of how to integrate it in a molecular way to transcend your block with access consciousness immediately. This is what I do a lot of times when I'm getting bored. So going to your heart space. So wherever you have a particular choice. So you don't want your twin flame to leave you. You don't want your twin flame to go away. You want your particular person. And you're like, I'm choosing it, but I'm getting controlling. I shouldn't be breaking their marriage. There's a part of you where you're like, this is wrong. So that part of you where you're like anxious, this is wrong. This is going back to where we started the session. This is wrong. This is wrong. I can't go back. I can't go there. I can't go there. That this is wrong part needs right and wrong, good and bad, pot and pock, all nice shots, boys and beyonds. Right and wrong, good and bad, pot and pock, all nice shots, boys and beyonds. Right and wrong, good and bad, pot and pock, all nice shots, boys and beyonds. So you will feel an instant shift, and or you can just go to that zone, which I do. Is I have a lot of methods, so I'm going to be sharing a lot of methods of releasing resistances. So going to that block. So this is for those who get it here. Like if you just feel it this way, then you like a lot of times I hear that I'm not able to feel it that deeply yet, but eventually you will. I have had clients who initially did not feel that extreme pain inside, but eventually they reach that state after doing the work to feel it. So if you can go to that layer where you feel it on a molecular space, imagine a plier and break it with the plier and thank Satan for breaking it. So this is where Saturn is not Satan. Like Saturn is a planet. Saturn is a planet, God. Satan, Satan, Satan is our alter ego, devil, and I don't know what Satan is. Satan is the shadow aspect of Jesus, according to me. So Saturn is Shani Dev, the Deva of business. So wherever you have a block with Shani Dev also, that is because of judgment. That God is bad, this God is good. And I am a Krishna consciousness yogi, and yes, we do talk about do not worship demigods and stuff. But when you really realize that every demigod is Krishna and every demigod is holy, every demigod is one in one consciousness with God, you do not judge the demigods. We do not judge like, oh, Shani. We do not judge. That's the point, is to release judgment here. So imagine a plier. With that plier, you're just breaking that molecule, and that resistance will break and loosen up. And this is what I do mostly because I'm like done with resistance and at times like, "Argh!" So imagine a plier and just break it. And this is kind of where you're becoming fearless also. Like, I am willing, I'm fearless, I'm breaking it. I'm taking the responsibility, I'm breaking it. So we are invoking Shani Dev energy and calling in his plier and breaking it. That is one way of saying that we are breaking it. So another way is that going to that place in you where you're hurt, feeling that emotion, and as you tap into that emotion, there are various memories that might just keep on flashing up in your mind. A lot of memories of the past, a lot of this is the fastest method of inner child healing. There is one more method, that is you go to each of the moment and hug those parts. That is at the initial stage. But another stage is you feel that pain which is in that zone, and it's not really a soothing thing to sit with your pain for hours and hours. Wherever you have that spot, as you love that part, a lot of memories will flash up here and there. As you keep loving that part, keep loving that part, as the memories flash up here and there, in the process of them flashing up and the awareness coming in your way, and you just do nothing but imagine that place and love it. You can literally imagine it as a pearl in your hand, and you're sitting with it and loving it and giving it that all the love. As you just focus on that particular point inside of you where there is pain, and as you continue to give love to that place, as you continue to love that place in that essence of love, in that presence of love, that part expands, exfoliates, and you get into a state of liberation and peace instantaneously. That's another way how you can shift. Then another way how you can shift is by going into the block. This is my favorite method, and this is most favorite method of mine, and this is the modality, which is quantum integration therapy, which I do. I'm a quantum integration therapist specialized in back intelligence expansion. So you go to that space and you love that part. You sit with that part and you choose to just love that. As you love that, you're sensing its heaviness, you're sensing its texture, you analyze its texture, and as you love it, you wonder where from this pain is coming from. So maybe your pain is coming from, as somebody here, one of our friends had pointed out, of not having the kind of recognition in market, that the value that you deserve, you're not getting that. So maybe you do not have the kind of recognition that you seek. So having to sit with that pain, as you nurture that pain, analyzing this block, as you keep on giving it love, you reach the next layer where you're like, okay, I'm not being recognized because I'm kind of scared of being recognized. And okay, as I love that part, I'm kind of scared of being recognized because I'm anxious. If I get recognized, if my wish come true, if I get my manifestation, it'll just happen. I'm just scared of having my manifestation. I'm just scared it'll all work out for me at the end. So wherever you're scared, it'll like work out for you at the end. There is this part of anxiousness. So as we love that anxiousness, I'm just scared that it'll work out for me at the end, and I don't know what will happen after that once it has worked out. So whatever you're scared that once it has worked out, how what will be the outcome of it after that, because you're risking to get it into your life, and what if it doesn't turn out the way you desire? So you're scared, or it messes up again. So wherever you're scared of it being, basically you're scared of it messing up again. Wherever you have this fear of it messing up again, go to that place and love yourself. As you love that place and sit with that place, so coming into the zone that, okay, it's getting into the zone for me because I'm just scared to take the risk. I'm just scared to be willing to have this choice because there's somewhere I'm judging this choice. Where am I judging this choice? I'm judging this choice because if I have my manifestation, if I have everything together, if I have what I'm seeking for, then I'm selfish. I'm not that good. If I have everything, people will not love me that much. So, as we love that part, if I have everything, there will be nothing else to have and I'll die. So, loving that part, that if I, this is the modality I invented, and I coined the term quantum integration therapy specialized in work intelligence expansion. So now we go dive deeper in this. So I'm scared of having what I truly deserve, what I truly want to manifest, because if I manifest that, once I have it, I don't know what to do after that. So wherever you are scared of its after effect, going there. So you already have your manifestation, the impossible has been possible. So, along with the impossible being possible, what are you scared of? So, the layer can be I'm scared to lose the manifestation again. So, wherever you're scared of losing that, love that place. So, wherever that fear of loss is there, getting you into the anxiousness that you're scared of it backfiring and it having like it's done halfway through and then halfway it's not done, like 50% it's done, 50% it's not done, and then the 50% it's not done. That's very anxious because it's like halfway through you've accepted crumbs. So I was manifesting my boyfriend and he came back with crumbs and I was very determined to manifest him, but because of the crumb state, I'll give you a magical experience I had. I did not talk to my boyfriend for 3 years. No, sorry, like we used to talk like every year once. Like he was after breakup, he was calling me up, and then we did not meet. In 2018, we had met, and then we hadn't met for a long time, and I was really upset. 2019 April, he called me. Whole year he did not call me, and I was really manifesting and really sad. 2020, he calls me directly asking me to go on a trip. So anything on earth is possible. It's like if you lived in with someone, been married to someone, been in a relationship with someone for a long time, it's super easy to manifest that person. Super easy. Easiest deal is to get your ex back. It's tougher to get a new person compared to your ex, actually. You can get, because new person, you're like, how will that be? This, that. But ex to you, like, very easy. So going to the zone where you're like, whatever I get it in crumbs. Okay. So wherever you are scared and not willing to let it go. The story I shared, the reason was to realize you can let it go. You'll get back the full package in the divine timing. But you have to be willing to take the risk to let go because you believe it's all here already, it's all that. So going to this zone where you're kind of like anxious, scared, and this anxious, scared energy is that maybe you have manifested your reality and you're like, I do not like it this way. It's halfway done. It's not halfway done. I mean, it's better to not have anything at all than to have it in bits and parts. That's really true. Whenever you have this part, like, I do not like, I'm just scared of having it in bits and parts. Go to that part of you which is so much in pain. So this is where we have been putting up with, we're settling for less, we're compromising, we're just being okay with whatever we've been given. And you do not have to ask anything in bits and parts. You can have it all. Wherever you have this fear that you cannot have it in, you can have it all, and you have to have it in bits and parts. And there is this pain. That is because the pain we are carrying, because Jesus died for our sins. And when our brother Jesus died for our sins, how can we ask for more? Because we are all Christ souls. There is no 14,444 Christ souls. I'm not an evangelist transforming you into Christ consciousness or something, but everybody is a Christ soul. Christ is a consciousness. Krishna is a consciousness. So wherever the pain is there, that there have been so many people suffering. So you might not literally see it in this way. You might have the layer of so many people are suffering, so many people go through so many ups and downs in life, and people don't have house to stay, people don't have food to eat, and I'm asking to go to Paris. Shame on me. Wherever you have this conditioning, going there, and you have actually a lot of money, you can help them. You can take all of them and you can go with, if I have $95 billion, I'll ensure I take a lot of people who cannot even think of traveling all over the world and stuff, I'll take them on a trip. I'm not the person who's going to provide education. I can provide emotional intelligence expansion education, but I would take them on a trip. I would take them to all the places to have a lot of fun. So wherever there is this part of you where you're like, I'm happy with the bits and parts and crumbs. I'm happy with settling for less, because those of you who are Bengali will be relating this to this shop pill noshto jiban. That's a song actually by Anupam Roy, which means like if you get everything, life is trash. So wherever you have bought into this belief, stupid belief that okay, if I have everything, that's wrong. So I have to have it in bits and parts. I have to suffer. Basically, where you are choosing to suffer and you're choosing to have it in bits and parts because we are choosing to be modest and because we think that if we are modest, God will love us more. God is 24 into 7 present with us and 24 into 7 in every thought. And we are breathing and alive because of God. Our breath is God. Like, this is God. Inside us, there is God. The life inside of us is given to us by God. We have the life, we are alive because of God. And I do not know why not a lot of people see this pattern, but it's true. Like, it's not your ego which is in anger, which is in pride. Everything is God. Everything is God. Because how do you even, you are born and you're experiencing something, you are having conditioning, you are having focus, you can focus on something else. Whatever you are focusing on, whatever experiences you are having, every experience is happening at a perfect moment and is synced with the next moment, and everything is connected in life. And that's because there is something propelling inside of you and taking you forward, and that's your very life. And your life is God. You're alive because there is God. You are alive. I am talking, you're hearing, and we are discussing these because there is God. God is talking through me. There is the God in you who's listening. The God in you is getting empowered. The God is in you because God is everywhere. God is in this phone. God is in these cards. Why I'm pointing this out is because God is not just in crystals. God is not just in Bhagavad Gita. God is not just in temples. And all of you know me, I probably were wondering, like, how is she not talking about God? Particularly, I hadn't, because I wanted to come to this topic after a while. And I didn't want to. It was the flow, and the session has been continuously going in that sync and that flow. And that flow itself is God. You're not that flow. I'm not that flow. God is that flow. But you and I are also that flow, because we are also God by default, because God is everything. There is nothing apart from God. God is all that is. Everybody is you pushed out because everybody is God pushed out. And nothing exists in this medicine. The most controversial thing. I'm holding the two controversies in two hands: crystal and medicine. So I have two sides of controversies. All those holistic healers can completely relate to this. So I have this too. God is here, God is here. How is God here? This is process, that is process, this chemical, that chemical. Where are those creations coming from? Who is giving those ideas? How are things integrating and how are things happening? It's through God. So somebody will say, but it's energy medicine that works. I will say it's quantum integration that works. Another person will say it's normal medicine, normal medical stuff that work. Another person will say Ayurveda works. So all these are different creations of different people like you and I, and everything is important and everything is playing out all together. So I am a therapist and I'll help you to release your resistance and transcend to that part. And when you have transcended and you're like, okay, I want more acceleration, you would go for a spell or you would go to a Reiki healer and ask for healing. Why is everything important? So when you are doing that and integrating that, then you're like, okay, there is some part in me where I just feel stuck. I need a tool which can continuously get me out of this complete setup. You go and get access consciousness. So now we are integrating that, and you're like, okay, I have integrated that, I have understood this, and I just want to go beyond. I want to see the energetic side of it. You get KICAT, which is quantum entanglement consciousness alignment therapy, which is something again I co-created with God. So that's a course of 5 body alignment course. So it has everything. It has NLP, it has your 54 dimension chakra balancing, and it's a pre-built course. And there are 56 videos. There's self-love course in it. There is all chakra balancing in it. Along with that, there is NLP, there is basic switch words, then there is raising vibration, then there is quantum integration, then there is ascension coaching, then there is inner child healing. It has everything. It has everything to manifest your twin flame or anyone. So you'll go for that. And you've integrated that. Thank you, Ishan. So when you've integrated that, then you're like, okay, I've integrated this understanding. I want to have a deeper realization. I want to know God. You read Bhagavad Gita. You go to a teacher who's teaching Bhagavad Gita or Bible or is teaching about Christ consciousness. You've understood Christ consciousness, Krishna consciousness. You're like, what does Quran talk about? What does Islam talk about? Okay, this is the perspective. All right. After you inculcated that perspective, you're like, how does shamanism exactly work? I want to travel to the chambers. That's also what Kika is, traveling to the chambers. So I want to travel to the chambers. So you go to a shamanic healer. So you've traveled through the chambers. You're like, I want to have a psychedelic experience. You have psychedelics. So as you're having a psychedelic experience, you are like, I want to have an afterlife experience of ayahuasca. You try that. So everything is happening all at once and everything is possible. So you have all these experiences and you're like, oh my God, there's a champagne I really want to try. You try that champagne. Like, wow, this champagne tastes so good. That wine must also be exotic and taste similar, I've heard. So let's try wine. So every industry is working together and no industry is affecting the growth of other, and everybody is unique and are co-creating and has their own unique thing to share, and we are all co-creating together and everything is happening all at once for all of us, and God has given us all these gifts. But with all these gifts and all the varieties and all the varieties, understanding came in competition. But Dean Rajaji talks about this, that how can you even have a better business? Like, how on earth is it even possible to even have a better business? Because you cannot have like a better business competition like that. So wherever we have got into the zone of competition, like, okay, I'm better than you, you're better than me. Because we get into the zone like, oh my God, there are so many possibilities, but I'll not have enough there. So a lot of people are like, should I go for tarot reading? There are so many people doing it. You can try anything. You can do anything. Just because there are so many people doing it, there are 7.9 billion people also. So the point is, everything, no matter what you are doing, which profession you are from, there is enough for all. There's enough for all. Or whether you want to like me or manifest things that to like and just believe in the impossible and get it done. So that's also possible. So anything and everything is possible and it's all happening perfectly all at once. A person wouldn't really understand manifestation if they have not gone through the phases of astrology and everything. And once you've transcended to the manifestation stage and the other side, you can go back to the other side and go through the process again and see how everything connects and how it can all happen all at once and how everything is going to support everything together, because you're manifesting, then going to astrologer, getting the current report and whatever he's telling, instead of getting into a judgment state or fighting with that person, you get into that perspective. Okay, this is a vibration. Where am I getting affected? Wherever you're getting affected, you go in and love that place and sit with that place. So wherever that fear is, there is not enough for all. But I'll not have enough. But I'll be left behind. But my wish is not going to come true. But I am the exception out of all people who will be left alone. I am that exception who will suffer. So wherever there is the seed point of suffering in you, go there. This is where you are like, I have to accept things in bits and pieces. So wherever you are choosing to have things in bits and pieces, as we love that, you're like, okay, I can choose and it's okay and it's possible to not have things in bits and pieces. So as we choose that and nurture that and love that, from that bits and pieces, we get into the zone that, okay, it's not wrong to choose what I'm choosing, and it's not wrong to choose a reality without having what I am seeking in bits and pieces. Like it's possible to have a reality without, it's possible to choose a reality where I'm choosing a reality where I'm not choosing the bits and pieces. So as you realize that and as you love that part, so we integrate that and go to the next layer. And okay, as I'm choosing this, as I'm feeling relinquished in the essence of this, it's possible to choose to live in the end. Now with living in the end comes, but I cannot trust. I live in the end, I'll believe in it all, but then what if I don't have it? What if I don't have it? What if I cannot get it? This brings us to acceptance. So are you willing to accept it? Are you willing to receive it? So whatever you are targeting, so you're like in sales and you're like, I have to make it 50 crore or 50 lakh. I have to make it 50 crore. So you have to make it 50 crore and you go within and there is like, okay, I can choose. I don't have to choose the bits and parts reality where I might have 50 crore. I will have 50 crore, but I'm choosing that it's possible and I'm willing to integrate with that reality where I have 50 crore. So wherever you are willing to integrate the reality where you have 50 crore, for all my dear twin flame clients, you are integrating in that reality where your twin flame is in that desired version that when which you seek to see him or her. So I'm willing to have that and I'm willing to believe it's possible. I'm willing to understand it's possible and I'm willing to understand there's nothing wrong in that choice. I'm willing to believe and understand that it's okay to choose that. I'm willing to believe and understand that it's okay to accept it. I'm willing to choose that I can accept it. So now when you're willing to choose that you can accept it, you can receive it basically. So now you're getting into the zone that, okay, now the block comes that, okay, acceptance. So I'm about to accept whatever you want. So you're about to accept your impossible. You are about to accept your impossible right now. That is why I welcomed you all to Living in the Impossible workshop. So you're about to manifest your impossible today. And this workshop is itself a sign that impossible is possible. So wherever, whatever you are willing to have in your life, whatever you are willing to be in your life. So basically your specific manifestation in desired version. Person, house, money, anything in desired version. So your specific manifestation in desired version. So now you are getting into the zone that, okay, I'm willing to accept that I can have my specific manifestation in my desired version. So whatever your specific manifestation is in that desired version, be it your boyfriend, girlfriend, twin flame, a soulmate, money, relationship, career, career, anything, whatever that is. I'm pointing out relationship mostly because I had received a lot of messages in the morning that will it help in getting him back? So that I feel, will this really work to get there? Should I continue this? So should this, what is really manifestation? Can manifestation really get him back? So yes, there you go. How it's happening, you can see. So going to the zone where you're like, you really want something and that is, you're accepting, I can have, when you're accepting, you'll automatically get the resistance that, oh my God, I'm about to have it. So this is what stops us to live in the end. I'm about to have it. So this is the overwhelming energy. Oh my God, it's actually getting really, really real. A lot of you are feeling this inside. I know now. It's okay. It's actually getting, you should be excited. Like it's finally getting really, really for real. It's like dance. It's actually getting really, really for real. Now that it's getting really, really for real, you're like scared. Oh my God, it's scary. It's actually real. God is actually real. So it's actually real. It's actually real that God really exists. It's actually real that with Jesus Christ, anything is possible. It's actually real that Jesus Christ can do anything. He could give life to a dead person. So talking about getting back deceased loved ones, Jesus Christ could do that. He was Son of God. He was not God himself. He was in the image of God. He was thus the God, like you are also God by default, but he was Son of God. He was gifted those power, vested those power by God. So if God has given it to Jesus, why will God deny it from you? So wherever there is this aspect, yes, back then there was, but yes, I would say that the consciousness at that time had not gone past the persecution conditioning, fear of shame, guilt conditioning, and that is why people could attack and he was pulled down to the lower vibration energy because at that time this conditioning had not been integrated in the Christ consciousness frequency. But as we are evolving in the planetary vibration, we are integrating those vibrations more and more. So these vibrations where you're finally realizing that with Jesus, actually everything is possible. So for all of you who have fear, but Jesus died, if I choose this, I'll also die. Wherever you have this fear, but Jesus can save your life. Jesus is with you. Chill. So wherever I am not promoting evangelism, but Jesus is the way. You can call Jesus anything, God. You can just feel God, but I personally feel that Jesus is the way. And wherever you are in this zone, where you are like, okay, this is really possible to accept it, to believe it. I mean, I can accept it. It's possible to accept that this thing really can happen, that like I can accept it. So because God is with me, Jesus is with me, with Jesus, how I want a reality exactly that's possible. So you're like, but I can't accept it. I'm scared. This fear is the fear of persecution, which is being carried in this frequency, and impossible is nothing. We are transcending these barricades every day, and that is why the collective consciousness is shifting. We are breaking the barriers. We are the light workers. We are here. This is what we are here to do. And now we are coming to this very moment at this point This is where the collective frequency at this point is. So wherever we have fear of persecution energy, fear of being killed, fear of being judged, this is what New Earth energy is actually transcending. So wherever you have fear of guilt, fear of being judged, going there. Okay, before we go there, let me tell you, this is something again that's flowed in. So obviously this is God talking. The last chapter of Bible is Revelation, and the last line is that that Jesus will come, and the truth is that God is always with us. So Revelation has been continuing 24 into 7, and God is 24 into 7 with us. This is the truth. So going to this zone where we are scared of being persecuted, ostracized. This is the fear of Mother Earth Gaia, also the Gaia frequency, the Gaia consciousness. Mother Earth Gaia is purging with us. Mother Earth Gaia is present with us. Mother Earth Gaia is Earth and the collective frequency of Earth. We've all been together all our life here because we are consciousness. We are a state of consciousness. We are state of perspective. Your state of perspective, my state of perspective, their state of perspective. We are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. This is how we are creating the God covenant. So the whole consciousness, everything is made up of all of our perspectives. So one of our light does not blink, everything goes off. One light starts blinking, we all start blinking. We're all one. That's the concept. So going to this zone where we are carrying the fear of persecution energy, and as we sit with it, I know my bootcamp students who just finished bootcamp are like super excited, like, yay, one of those days. So we used to have bootcamp for like 6 months, the past 6 months. Now I only do one-on-one teaching for spell and manifestation because my other courses are up on my course portal. So now I just go by the virtue of ascension flow. So we used to go on doing inner work sometimes till like, there were days when we've done inner work from 2 p.m. to 8 a.m. So they are all excited right now here. So wherever you have this part of fear of persecution, you are scared. You want something, but you're scared that society will ostracize you. People will say something. Something out there will go wrong. This will happen. You will die. This, that. The worst fear can be society will say something or you'll die. So considering people first fearing you'll die, if you die, you'll go to God and you can ask God to send you back and God will send you back. So because you'll meet God and you'll remember everything then. So coming back to society will ostracize. Society will not accept. People will not accept. So Bible or Gita or any religion is very advancedly written in a way to an extent because we are being asked to please God and not to please people. So we are clearly being told like, bro, don't please people, please God. So please the God inside, be santusht inside and be there. We wouldn't really be fighting. There is so much of crisis, there's so much of war, there's so much of pride, there's so much of rage. That is because we are like, we think that we are powerless to something out there. It can be society, it can be this, it can be that, but we are concerned basically about what will people feel about certain choice of ours. So whatever the choice of yours is, which you are absolutely not ready to accept because what will people think? Wherever you're scared to accept that I don't know how, or you're like, you're manifesting something unexpected. So as one of our dear friends said that marks of class 10, I don't know how you can change. You can change. I know that you can. I know that you can change anything with Jesus. I know with Jesus anything is possible. I know this. And knowing that, so considering that as choice, that's the most amazing thing I've heard today because that's the most impossible thing somewhere even I also am feeling. So I would love to challenge my own thought process here. So going to this process, right, we are thinking that considering we can't go back to the past and change certain things. So whatever that thing is, whatever that feeling is, wherever you're thinking that you cannot change certain thing, or you're not willing to accept the possibility of that happenstance, that change reality vibration exists. So wherever you are not ready to accept that the miracle which you seek is possible, is also because of the fear that how did this happen? Through God. Who is God? How does he look? We all have that question. We're always seeking that. Where is God? How do I seek him? How do I know him? Who is this interesting person who can do everything, who can make the impossible possible? Who has this magical power? God. What is magic? God. Who is God? All that is. Does God have a form? I don't know. How does God look? I don't know. I don't really know. But I know one thing, that God is real. Wherever there is this part that is scared to even believe, so root of separation consciousness. So after acceptance comes reasoning. Why? Why? How? This is that part. Why? How? So this why? How part is that how do I really know God? How do I really accept, believe, reasoning? So how do I really accept, release, and believe that God is real? How do I believe God is real? So you might be an atheist. And you're like, God is not real. Universe is all that is. I'll tell that God oblique universe. To all atheists, I always say, yeah, I mean, God or universe, it's all that is. So considering universe in that case, how is God real? How is the universe real? How is there a sun? It rises at the same time every day. Like it's so consistent. How is it possible it's so consistent? And we have a moon that's also consistent. And moon has cycles. And that cycle itself is consistent. And then we have planets. We have constellations. We have galaxies. We have so many constellation galaxies, stars in the sky. There's so many stars. The stars are of so much variant shapes. The stars are ever increasing. The universe is ever expanding. There's so much of magic in every universe. The trees are growing on their own. Nobody planted the seed of tree on the road, but how did the seed come? How did it start growing? Who planted the seeds? How did the land come? And whoever even plants the seeds, how can the soil and water just do that magic to just do that miracle? How can, when we are thirsty, we drink some water and we feel alive? How come when we feel lost and when we tap into that feeling that God is with us, love is with us, we start to feel love? That is exactly how God is real. And having to integrate that as we go into the state of love, that okay, God is real, everything is possible. I'm love, I'm light, I'm truth, I'm joy, I'm happening here and now. I'm finally reaching a state of peace, a state of salvation, a state of enlightenment where everything is possible because I'm possible. I'm possible because God is possible. And God is possible because God is all that is. God is all that is, because God is everything, and everything is beyond the universe, beyond the multiverse, is beyond the planets, beyond the stars, beyond all that is, beyond everything, a reality which is constantly unfolding, and every day a new layer of the reality unfolds, a new layer pops up, and to the extent to which we are ready to integrate that, we integrate that into our vessel, our system, and we keep upgrading in our system to transcend and transmute and be one with the continuous evolution process of universe, where ultimately we get into the zone where everything else is possible. So how do you all feel about your impossibility, and who would like to share their experience? So how do you all feel about your impossibility, and who would like to share? Hi, Sarupya, what's your take on
So
impossibility now?
right now,
Yeah.
it's like because I've been through this complete through and through. One, I am like really, I don't know, relieved in the body. And I had energy shifts. I could feel energy shifts, the triangle one especially. And apart from that, all the things did happen. So yeah,
Wow, it's amazing.
yeah. So
Even you're a key card practitioner, so you have integrated that in your system anyway.
yeah, but I don't know why I'm still, kind of where I am. So, but
Wow.
I'm
But
just
you
really,
just transcended.
yeah,
Yes.
yeah. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Atul. So who else would like to share their experience about the idea of impossible? So is there anyone else whose idea of impossible shifted? Ashwini, how was your experience? Hello, Ashwini. Are you there? Okay. So, who would like to share about? Hi, Deepika. How was your experience
Hello.
about
Hi.
impossible is possible or not? What do you say?
Oh my God, there was so much that I learned from today's session. So, so grateful to you.
Thank
I'm really
you.
feeling very relaxed and nice, and
So, do
there's
you
nothing
think
impossible
impossible
that,
is possible? That's
yes. Yeah. Because I've been working with you for a long time, I always did believe in this, that there is
yes.
nothing impossible. But I just was not aware, and I always had that understanding. I do not know the way, but I'll figure out someday, somehow on divine time. So that was always there. So that was not a problem. But after today's session, it's even better. And I was sweating the whole time, and all the changes were happening, and so many, especially the boredom thing. That
Yes.
if you have to do something, you will attract boredom. And I was like, oh my God, this is my answer for a lot of my questions. So that was awesome. I've learned a lot, and I'm at a good place, better than
So,
where we started the session. And
yes.
I'm at least going to go through the entire video once again, because
There was so much, and I think I could have missed something. I want to go through it again and just let that sink in my system completely. So thanks a lot. You're just amazing. I love you,
Thank you.
and I love
Thank
you
you.
more with each passing day.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so
Thank you.
much.
So, who else would like to share that? So, Niranjan says you're a super full gratitude with you. Thank you, Niranjan. Thank you.
Yeah.
Hi.
This is Ravindra. Hi.
Hello.
First of all, thank you very much for very emotional and really very matured kind of session you conducted. And thanks really. My gratitude. Um, Certain concepts were not new to me, but the way emphatically you have put it across, I think it has touched me. That you have to be ground into that conviction, and to be proud of certain things, and many other things. I have listed it down, but that is what I think was strongly communicated to me, and I mean, I have got it. I would say into me, and the therapy session or the meditation session that you conducted for the career related aspect, I think that that was very helpful to me.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, Ashwini. So, who else would like to share about how much their belief system about possibility and impossibility has shifted? Like, how many of you started to believe that impossible is nothing? I'm really eager to know. So, there are a lot of new people. So, okay, Ishan would like to talk. Hi, Ishan.
Yeah, hi.
Hi.
I think in the beginning of the session, I was very doubtful and I was thinking that, come on, it doesn't seem practical or rational that, anything will be possible. But then I think before me, the two people who spoke, they both, I agree with them. I would definitely like to rewind and go back through it whenever I come up to a challenge which I feel I cannot do, and then break it down into smaller portions and tackle it. Not make the problem look bigger than it actually is. I think the approach will be better now for me. I am not sure what exactly I will do, but I think I can start, giving it a shot, like give it a try. At least then I will know that I didn't, you know, not try. I think that happened. A good personality upliftment, like
Okay.
motivational.
Huge shift for you. Thank you.
Yeah, thank
Yes.
you.
Thank you. So, yes, Ravindra and Rupa, both of you would like to share. Like, please to share. Like, everybody who would like to unmute, please unmute and please. Thank you, Ashwini. Thank you for joining. Yes, Ravindra.
No, that was by mistake. Sorry.
No worries, no worries. So, hi, Rupa. Hello. Thank you. So, I would love to know your experience. So, okay, I am receiving a lot of comments. So, let me read the comments. So, Monica saying to everybody, this session gave me whole lot of new energy, and now I can manifest with full force. So Supriya says, thank you, ma'am, you're angel. Thank you for such a wonderful session. Shelly Bharadwaj says, Rupa says, thank you. So anyone else who would like to share their experience of how much it shifted? Like Ishan shared something that a lot of millennials will be able to relate to. A lot of people who will be watching the video will be watching from that perspective. And by the way, before we end the session, let me give you all an amazing surprise. And especially for Ishan, I'll tell you this, that if there's a problem that has a solution, the problem has been given to you so that you move towards the solution. And the solution that you will be moving towards will be unique to you. And in that unique essence, you will be creating a new perspective whereby you can liberate and feel more essence of oneness with solution and break all the paths towards solution. So problem, what can I do to get the solution? So whenever you're going within and integrating, that's where quantum integration comes in, which I am a specialist of, a quantum integration therapy specialized in work intelligence expansion. That's where it comes in. That's where what we would do is we would go inside and, okay, this is the problem. I want this solution. So I cannot have the solution because of this. Okay, I cannot have the solution because of this, and this is coming from there. Okay, this is coming from there, and I'm feeling it because of this. I'm feeling it because of this, because I'm feeling this way. Now I'm feeling this way, so it's happening because of this. So as I sense that sensation and feeling, and ultimately through that reasoning and understanding, you liberate and transcend to a state where you are literally pulled out from that zone and you go to the other side. So before we go, I would love to take you all on a journey within. And we've all heard We've all heard this, that the path of meeting Him, God, is a narrow path. What is the narrow path? So having to go within, and your manifestation is basically you have a problem and you're seeking for a solution in a very 3D way. It's like this is as Ishan said, it's something that it hadn't crossed my mind in a long time. Like, wow, I heard this word after such a long time. So yeah, so it's a problem and you are seeking for a solution. And towards that solution, you get into the zone in your heart, and there is that part where you're anxious about that problem. As you go into your heart, you see there's this space in that pain. As you start to pull that downwards, you see that there's a upwards, sideways, this way, that way, anyway. You'll start to feel like as you're dragging down that issue, you're dragging it through a tunnel, narrow tunnel. That narrow tunnel is God's path. And when you have complete faith and resiliency and complete blind faith in God, and yes, I am not an evangelist again, but I have seen it in I have blind faith in Jesus and Krishna. I have blind faith in God, and I worship Jesus Christ, Krishna, both like Krishna consciousness and Christ consciousness. I cannot really differentiate them. It leads to one another and they're very connected. And I love Jesus and Christ so much. So Krishna Christ is my God. So I cannot differentiate. So I chose both. So wherever there is this issue inside of you, where you just want to pull out that zone, wherever there is a problem and you want a solution, you imagine a thin, narrow space. So as you go to the tip corner, as you start pushing it, pushing it, pushing it, you might be coming to a path that I cannot really go to the solution because this will not show up. I'm anxious. So push it further. So you're anxious. So something else is coming. Okay, I'm anxious because if I choose this, this will happen. I won't get this, whatever it is. So pulling it furthermore. Okay. As now you're like, okay, I'm no longer anxious. I can have it. As you keep pulling it, okay, I'm having it. Get smooth and effortless. This is what effortless manifestation. And you swirl it out of the narrow space and chuckle it out and pull it out. This is also one of the way I do quantum integration therapy a lot of times. And I'm like, okay, go within. Okay, now we have a point and I'm going to pull out that and pull it out of your heart space. When I'm doing it, I'm just pulling it out of this thin, narrow path and just dragging it down and pulling it out. When I'm dragging it down and pulling it out, this is that narrow path where you trust in God blindly, that you don't care about what the problem is, and you're like, okay, just छोड़ के मैं निकालने के लिए तैयार हूँ क्योंकि मुझे भगवान पे भरोसा है. So I'm like pulling this out completely and release it because I trust God and God is going to do this. God is going to get this done. It's all cool. So every path is important. Every path is the path of God. We are all one. And everything leads back home, and all paths leads home back to God. So thank you. And impossible is nothing. So start to live the impossible from today. And thank you to everybody for taking your time out and coming for the workshop. And thank you for being a part of this workshop. Thank you for coming. Thank you for spending your precious time with us. Thank you for being here. Thank you for your presence. Thank you for everything. Thank you for trusting in me. Thank you for trusting in the session. Thank you for being through the session all throughout. Thank you for being you. Thank you for manifesting. Thank you for being so amazing. Thank you for being so lovely. Thank you for being so amazing and so close to my heart. And thank you for being love. Thank you for being light. Thank you for being truth. Thank you for being God. Thank you for being amazing. Thank you for being soul. Thank you for being present. Thank you for being alive. Thank you for being whole. Thank you for being amazing. Thank you for being love. I love you all. Thank you. Thank you. And thank you, God. Thank you, God. Thank you, God. I love you, God. Thank you, God. It's God who made it happen. So We're all the light of God, and it is God who's doing the magic. We are, because God is. So it is. Thank you. Thank you. I love and light to you all. Have a great day and good night. Thank you.